Well, hello, and welcome to Roleplay. I'm going to be reading you the prologue for this game, Mice and Mystics, by Jerry Hawthorne and Plaid Hat Games. Now, you're going to see an intro in video 1 for chapter 1 of the game, in which we filmed special at Zia Comics. However, every additional chapter after that, you will see us playing right here in my secret volcano lair. So without further ado, let's read the prologue, Bedtime for Tip. Daz Bellows gave his son a stern wag of the finger. "Into bed with you, boy," he said gruffly. Little Tip gave a hefty yawn and a stretch, and then climbed into his straw nest, his tail curling around him. Outside the tree, the wind was howling, and the snow was forming mounds, but inside it was warm and dry, and Daz tucked Tip in with a thick blanket. "That's my lad," he said softly, and fluffed the scruffy fur between Tip's mouse ears. "Dream of spring and pretty things that bloom." He turned to blow out the enormous candle that stood in the corner of the bedroom, but Tip sat up.
"Don't leave yet, Papa," he said. "The wind is fearsome tonight. Stay with me and tell me a story."
Daz arched an eyebrow. "A story, eh? And which one did you have in mind?" Tip's tail twitched with excitement.
"Tell me the story of brave Prince Colin in the Kingdom of Men."
Daz chuckled and settled into the walnut shell rocker that sat near the nest. Candlelight danced over the face of his excited son. "Very well, mouseling," he sighed. "Lay back down and I shall tell it. Our story begins with a young human whose age was not dissimilar to your own. But the story does not begin in winter. Oh no, it begins in a rich and beautiful summer." And so Daz began the story, reciting it word for word with all the proper flourish, just as it had been told to him by his own pap many nights long ago. "Once upon a time there was a kingdom of men, and it was ruled by good King Andon. King Andon was a kind and generous man, and loved by all his people. But he was lonely as well, for he had to raise his son, Prince Colin, all alone. Prince Colin had grown into a fine young man, and the king was very proud of him. Yet the king missed his queen, who had passed away many years ago. King Andon spent much of his time with his advisors, and together they decided on how best to rule the kingdom and protect its people. They would order the construction of important buildings, ensure that food was plentiful, and forge alliances with neighboring lands such as wealthy Nextor. But one summer day, a visitor from a faraway land arrived at the castle. She was heralded by dark skies and a chill wind. She was Venestra, beautiful queen of an unheard-of land called Darkland. She had traveled with a contingent of several hundred soldiers dressed in jet-black mail, and she was escorted by King Andon's longtime friend, a pointy-faced man with a curiously curled mustache named Captain Verst. Verst claimed to have met the queen during his travels, and insisted she come to meet the king. Venestra's visit seemed to lift King Andon's melancholy, and for this everyone in the castle was grateful. A mere fortnight after her arrival, King Andon proclaimed his love for Venestra. Colin and the king's advisors found this troubling. The following week, the king announced his intentions to marry Venestra. Colin and the king's advisors found this even more troubling. The marriage announcement brought dark days with it, and King Andon fell ill. His malady was mild at first, little more than a raspy cough and fatigue, but soon he paled and could not leave his bed. Tilda, the castle's healer, used all of the arts at her disposal, but no remedy that she knew of could relieve the king. She could only shake her head and say, "There is something strange afoot." As the king's illness grew, he began to struggle with even ruling from his bedchamber, and so he began to pass authority to Venestra. The Dark Queen put Captain Verst in charge of the house guard, and he replaced most of the garrison with Venestra's own cruel soldiers, men who bullied and bothered the household staff. Soon most of the staff had fled the castle, save those such as kindly Miss Maggie the cook. At night, strange noises echoed down the empty castle hallways, and Miss Maggie could only shake her head and say, "There's something strange afoot." During the day, Venestra could be seen gliding through the castle, scolding her soldiers who seemed able to do little more than brawl and break things. The queen spent much time visiting the castle's forge, from which came the sounds of hammering and hissing steam. Maganos, the castle's mystic, would stroke his beard and say, "There is something strange afoot." Soon Prince Colin could take no more, and so he summoned the king's closest advisors to a secret council in Maganos's laboratory. Burly Nez Bellows, the tinkerer, was there, newly evicted from the forge where he had toiled for many years. Tilda the healer was there, as was old Maganos himself, he who had served Colin's family for generations. Together the four hatched a plan to drive Venestra and her men from the castle, and back to whatever terrible land they had come from. But they were too late. The doors to the laboratory were kicked open, and there stood Captain Verst and a great many of his guard. The four were arrested for conspiring against the king, and Captain Verst smiled cruelly when they were thrown into the castle dungeons alongside the worst scamps the kingdom had to offer. When they had been left alone, only Maganos seemed undeterred. He linked his fingers in a strange way, puffed up his chest, and blew into his hands. He let loose a high whistle, and a few minutes later the whistle was answered by the appearance of his pet, Meeps, the tiny ruby-red dragon. Meeps flew in unseen, high above the heads of the guards, and he flitted through the bars and landed on Maganos' hands. In his little jaws was a single strand of jet-black hair. Maganos patted Meeps on the head and held the hair aloft for all to see. "This is a strand of Venestra's hair," he told them. "She is clearly a magical being of great power. This hair contains enough energy to allow us to transform, thus enabling our escape. But what mundane creatures should we change into? Whatever it is, we will have no means of turning ourselves back." Colin and his companions fell silent, unhappy at the prospect of not being humans. "Mice," said a voice from the shadows. It was Filch, the notorious thief. He had spent most of his life robbing the good people of the kingdom until King Endon's sheriffs had finally caught him. He now shared their cell. "We could escape into the sewers from here," he said, pointing to a small grate on the flagstone floor in the nearby room. "No one asked you, scamp," growled Nez suddenly. There was a noise from the guardroom. "There is no time for argument," shouted Maganos. He waved his free hand over Venestra's hair, muttering ancient words the time had since forgotten. Glowing motes of blue light fell from the hair as if they were water, and then began to swirl along the floor as if blown by unseen gusts. Soon the jail cell was filled with a brilliant maelstrom of supernatural power, and then without warning it burst and vanished. And where there had been 5 prisoners in the cell, there were now but 5 tiny mice. "Well, bother!" squeaked Nez. And that is the prologue. We will now go over live, on tape, to Chapter 1 at Zia Comics. See you then. Welcome to Roleplay, where we are going to be taking a RPG board game and playing through it chapter by chapter so you get to see the full story. Now, as a warning for parents, this may contain language and frequent "that's what she said" jokes. In fact, I happen to know firsthand it contains a lot of "that's what she said" jokes. So, if you are a young gamer or you have young gamers at home, please watch the video first to make sure that all of the content is acceptable. As we play through Mice and Mystics. Yes, I'm covering your face. Feel shame is a minor action. Let's go to the table and do a little role play. Alright guys, well welcome to the very first episode of Roleplay. Let's go ahead and go around the table and introduce who you are and who you are playing.
I'm Rachel, I'm playing Lily.
I'm James, I'm playing Filch. I'm Jack, I'm playing Tilda.
I'm Daniel, I'm playing Colin.
I'm Courtney, I'm playing Ness.
I'm David, I'm playing Maganos.
And you all know me as Trevor, the handsome host of Well Played. We'll be playing the villains, and hopefully we'll have horrible dice rolling skills.
Unlike
but
last time I played.
yeah, I may not. Unlike the last time we played, which for those at home that watched episode 3 of Well Played, you probably got to see
half of this chapter. So we are going to be playing through the full chapter, and just because you never argue with the Dungeon Master, optional side quests are now mandatory. So, everyone has been briefed on how to do stuff and things and junk. Briefly briefed. Alright, so we are... Yes. So, turn order is Lily, Tilda, Colin, Nez, Filch, Vaganos, and you guys got lucky because the Rat Warriors are last. So, I assume they will all be dead by the time they get their turn. So, Colin, a cheese for you. And just to avoid confusion, I will likely be referring to you all as your character names. It just makes it easier for me.
Tilda, you're awfully manly today.
Tilda forgot to shave her mousy beard. So to give you guys a kind of a setup of what's going on here. Colin's dad, the king, has been ruling for a number of years. Unfortunately, Colin's mom passed away during childbirth. So he's grown up without a mother, and the king finally thought it was time to have some type of mother figure for his son, the prince. And a woman, mysterious, clad in all black with soldiers to match, showed up at the kingdom. A woman who called herself Venestra. And she had been at the castle for about a fortnight before the king mysteriously fell ill. And Venestra has now basically asserted herself as the queen. At which point, Maganos learns of the treachery of Venestra and attempts to run and tell all of his friends, at which point she has them all captured and thrown in prison. In that moment, they meet Filch in the prison, and he devises a way to let them get out. Maganos' faithful red dragon, Meeps, who frequently changes into Ladybug, flies in with a hair of Venestra's and lands on Maganos' shoulder. And he says, I can turn us into any living creature. The problem is, I don't have a way to turn us back. Filch says, turn us into mice. That way we can sneak down through the sewer grate and get out of here. So he does so. They are all changed into mice, and they run out through the little bars and notice the sleeping guard there. Maganos tells them that as long as you go up to your equipment and name, "This is mine," it will shrink to your size and you will be the owner of it. However, it will stay that size forever. So that's why you all have your traditional weapons that aren't made out of things like toothpicks and sticks and whatnot. And Filch stole the dagger from the guard. Then, as they're scurrying back through the bars, they come in to find a little gray mouse has poked her head up through the sewer grate. And they say, "Hello, maiden. What would be your name?" Says Magnus. And she pokes her head out and says, "My name is Lily. What's yours?" And comes out of the sewer grate, and they're there, and they're just about to kind of make acquaintances as they hear the guard wake up and notice that the gear is missing. And he screams, "They've escaped! They've escaped!" And he looks and sees the mice there, all dressed in the gear appropriate to the humans as they were before. It says, "They've become mice! They've become mice!" From behind them, they hear a scream as they notice the guard has now shrunken down into a rat. 2 more rat guards come in, and they squeeze through the bars, and that places us where we are now. Just so everyone is aware, there is a special search spot on this tile, It is the knight's helmet there. If you search on that space, you will find the Tinkerer's treasure. This is a very good item for Nez to have, because this will allow him to basically discard this and go through the search deck to find anything. Specifically because one of the side quests, or the only side quest, is now mandatory, there's a very specific item that you will likely want, being the cat. Kitty! So, that starts us off in the initiative order. The rats have come through the bars, and it is Lily's turn. So what would you like to do, Lily? You are over there in the back on the right. You're already facing a rat.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it.
Alright. So, your battle value is 2. Your bow does not add anything. However, when a minion defends against an attack from this bow, any cheese rolled is added to the mouse's stash instead of the minion wheel. So anytime anything is defending against you, if they roll cheese, it goes to you instead. Plus you're immune to mouse traps. Plus, when you enter a previously unexplored tile, you get 2 cheese. Do you see now why Lily is my favorite character?
I forgot how many Dexter.
It is equal to your battle value, plus any bonuses. You're going to take 2.
We're all here.
I know.
Yes.
I'm gonna try not to get dice
Oh,
off the
Perry's
board.
got it. Just be careful. Cover your back. She's going to throw them at people.
I don't mean to.
Hit him that way.
However, it's usually only the people that are next to him.
Okay, so
I got one. What?
So that is 1
One block.
defend.
and 1 defense. But that's okay. Which brings us to, oh, and then you have movement as well.
So you can move somewhere.
If you want to kind of move away from
Yeah.
battle.
Well, you got to roll
Protect
You have to
the
roll.
You
archer
have to
and
roll
protect the healer. Because the one thing you never want to
3.
do, so 3 plus 2,
So 5. Yeah,
Where do you want
the
to
one
go?
thing you
Yeah.
never want to be in as an archer is in the danger zone. Any fans of archer?
Yeah.
Danger zone. Lana. Tilda, you are up.
Anyone with boobs.
And coming soon.
Not really. We're mice.
Coming soon, they will be easier to distinguish as this person from a company called The Cat's Pajamas by Courtney. Someone possibly at this table.
I don't know who that would be.
And someone who is also playing the person taking their turn now. Maybe painting some minis soon. So be looking for that.
They'll be easier to tell the differences, so that'd be good.
You can attack
Yes,
from
it's very
adjacent.
Yes,
right?
you can
Okay.
attack from adjacent.
I need one more dice. I'm gonna attack that.
Okay. So that is a cheese and a bow, and the rat rolls 2 defense. But you do get a cheese. Yeah.
Take it.
Which brings us
Would you like some
to
wine?
Colin. You are up, sir.
Alright, I'm going to move.
Ready?
Right here. So I can actually get up there with him. I don't think like Nez does.
Yeah, Nez's unfortunate thing is that he wants to kind of stay back because he has a larger
Until I
melee
get my
weapon.
better hammer.
Yeah. 2, and then you can switch
Yeah,
up.
2.
So 2 hits, and the rat rolls 1 defense, which means dead rat. So first one down. So as I predicted, they will likely all be dead by the time
Don't be
the
so
rat's turn
easy.
comes up. Which brings us to Nez.
I'm hopefully far enough.
If not,
3.
just do a search.
All right.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm searching.
All right, so go ahead and roll another dice. And you're looking for the star symbol. Also frequently called, I call shenanigans, roll that
Yeah.
again.
So that was half on.
All right. Search was unsuccessful. Remember that
Not on.
Filch actually, you have the find ability, correct?
Yes.
So anytime you roll anything other than a cheese,
Yeah.
it's a successful search. Is that what that is?
No, the find ability only takes effect after rolling a successful search.
Oh, right. But you get to take 2 items and choose which one you want. 3 items.
And choose
Yes.
one. Yeah,
Ah, there
that's
you go.
nice though.
If you
But it is a
Cheese
2
is
cheese
right.
ability.
Yeah.
There is another version that is Keen Eye
Keen eye, yeah.
that will let you basically search, and anything that's not cheese is a successful search.
Yeah, I passed that one up.
Yeah. That one is going to be better in the long run because you get to kind of cherry pick what you want.
Yeah.
That was Nez's turn. Filch, it is your
My
turn.
Okay, well. Okay, so I don't want to go ahead and rush out there and start working on stuff. I should wait for you guys, right?
You could rush right into a rat and try
I would.
and
I don't
attempt
know
to
if
kill
we
him.
get far enough
What
to
I've
get to
noticed,
him, to
it's
be honest.
easier to
Well, I get free
search.
movement, so I mean,
Plus his roll, so he could actually
yeah,
potentially make it all the way to the corner rat.
yeah. Or could you, I could
Because
go
you
straight
can
across
move
with
Yeah.
4, right?
Yeah, but see, with his special ability, he can still cheese. There's nothing on the wheel over there, but you get a cheese.
I mean, I get a
regardless.
cheese if I kill him.
Yeah,
But the enemies don't even have any cheese.
yeah.
So he's going to get a cheese if he kills him.
Yeah, but he won't get to steal from the wheel.
Yeah.
What you can do is move and then.
You can always steal
see where I
cheese.
move.
Yeah.
Okay, see
You
where
can
you
steal
go.
cheese later,
Okay,
Daniel.
so that gets me 5. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
there you
I can rush him.
Yeah.
6 total.
Yeah.
3
Roll
plus
the
3.
three.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can go ahead and just I can.
Math is hard.
So if I rush there, I can attack him, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And because of your ability, or
Heal.
your dagger, anytime you are higher up in the initiative,
He loses. That's nice.
uh-huh. So the rat is only rolling 1,
2.
and he rolls nothing.
Okay.
And that is a dead rat. That's 2
Killed it.
hits.
There you go.
There you go.
Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Cheese for that.
Yep. There we are. And that brings us to Maganos. And you are ranged. Rats.
Well, I
get to
wouldn't
do
be able.
something.
I wouldn't be able to make a furnace anyway.
No, you can shoot him.
No, I could, but
Ranger.
I'm gonna search.
Do you want to move
Rat-
to the helmet and search? So that you can get the Tinkerer's treasure, or you just want to search in general?
We're definitely gonna get that item before we leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get the night before we leave, so I might as well see if I can get someone else's something.
You're gonna have like 15 turns before the rats come up again. So
Exactly.
just my horrible shuffling.
That's one.
Okay.
Okay. You still have movement though, if you would like.
Why? I'm like 80 billion places away from the rat.
In case you want to move over the grate or something, so that you can explore after everyone has taken their turns and the rats are dead. Because remember, when we reach the end of the initiative track, the wheel starts to fill with cheese. So since you're the last mouse on there, back.
Isn't that
So
like
now you're prepped.
No, 'cause
So
I have
the
a
rat
or
moves 3. He will move right up into the space with Filch there.
So right here.
Uh-huh. And so he attacks him. Swings 2 hits. And 1 defense.
So one.
One wound.
Alrighty.
It's okay. We have a healer.
Yes.
Any cheese.
This is why we brought the healer.
However, that's actually pretty
Everybody
good for Tilda
has
because
cheese.
her special ability gives her +1 die to anybody she's in the same space
Yeah,
with.
I'll be following Filch around now.
Alright. So, and now the rat special ability activates, which moves them 1 up in the initiative order. And that brings us back to
really.
the
But I didn't shoot from there.
She's behind the
Yes.
rats.
As provided that there aren't black areas in between, because these are actually walls, they're not walls. Provided that there's not a black area in between you and the figure you're trying to hit, you are within line of sight. No matter how many characters are in the way, or whatever appears in the way. Yeah.
Target
So
is still being
you are within range.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to hit.
All right. That is 1 hit, and he rolls. Wait, he rolls. No, that's just for if he rolls a chance. 1 defense.
It's okay. It's fine.
Would you like to move? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay. 5 total.
You go right next to straight.
He won't go any closer to you unless Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is sure. Because yeah. It is an all ages game, so in order to make it more acceptable for children, no one ever dies.
Dragged from their little tiny mice tail.
Plus they don't die because technically as soon as the tile is clear of enemies, they come back. So they're temporarily knocked out or captured.
Alright, Tilda.
So it is, yes, Tilda's turn. And one of the other things that I had forgotten to mention is that with the share free action, it's a give and take. So you can give someone something as a share action, or you can also take something from another player, provided that they agree. So like if Tilda moves up behind, you know, Filch, for instance, and Filch has a cheese, and you guys agree, hey, I need to give this to Tilda so that she can heal me. Then Tilda uses a share free action to take a cheese from Filch and use it and heal.
Oh my God, that's how so
I'm not gonna play because I'm actually just down
Yeah. Found something.
That's another way to do it.
Search successful.
Alright, search successful. Oh,
He's almost done.
and since you were right there with Nez, you can share as a free action. Right. You can give it directly to
So
him.
you can give it to me.
So it goes sideways as it is in your pack. Alright. And since you searched, go ahead and throw that token on your card there. In fact, I'll just hand these out now. Just keep them next to your card. Whenever you have a successful search, just throw them on the character card so that you remember that you've searched on this tile, because you can only search once per tile. So, yes,
So you
I have little,
put one on the.
No, no.
I have
So
little
I
search
know
markers.
it's there.
Yeah, so that he knows that he's searched on this tile.
Alright, I guess,
And that is Colin's turn.
guess I'll search this time. I feel like that.
Okie doke.
Cheese is always good.
But you don't,
But it doesn't
you don't
do
get
anything
cheese
unless you're in battle.
Yeah.
So. Alright. Which brings us to Nez.
Well, I got it.
Bring the hammer down.
If you want to move up.
You bring the hammer down, Nez.
Well, I can use this to I tried to use this today.
It's used as a free action.
Okay, I'm gonna just do that.
Or you could hold it until later when you may need something, because you may need to use it to get fisherman's right. You may need to use it just at random for anything.
Yeah, just wait.
So
So
it'll come in handy later.
One. Woo!
So 2.
2. Woo! 2.
And remember, you can move diet. Yeah.
There we go.
and you can attack him from there.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
So you're going to need 4,
Bring the hammer down.
most likely. You got a cheese and 2 hits. So there's your cheese. I will need a dice. Thank you.
Yeah, next week I should bring mine.
And dead rat. Alright, so we are now in the show. Nez was like, I'm coming too!
My hammer's stuck.
In rat skull. That's what she said. That's also what she said. Let's see here. So that puts us at Filch.
You might as well.
You might as well search.
Search? Okay. You might get some.
Search and then move to the grate.
Yeah.
So move.
Wow.
Oh, you gotta search on that one now.
Right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because as long as someone's
As long as one person's there to Yeah. explore, we're good. So I'll just explore.
Okay, so go ahead and move the figures off there and flip the tile. And you come splashing down into the water. This is one of the moments that I needed to explain special movement. So in water, you can only move one space at a time, no matter what your movement is. In order to try and get out of the water, you basically have to roll the POW symbol, like a successful search. There are a couple of special things about this. Number one, there is a current. So anytime you end your turn in the water, it pushes you one space that direction. If it should ever push you off, you're immediately captured. However, if you get a successful search in the water, you find the fishhook and thread party item, which is essentially a grappling hook that links any two spaces that it touches, including if it's water and dry land. And then you don't have to roll to get out of the water. Use the grappling or fishhook and thread. So, as long as you perform a successful search in the water, you'll have that. Or, like I said, the Tinkerer's Treasure can come in handy here if you're just like, you can't get a successful search and you guys need to get out of the water. The other special objective about this is that all 6 of you need to be on the same side of the water in order to explore the next tile. And you need to go this direction. So as you can see, the doors now link. So you all need to be over here on this side of the water before you explore to get out. And you don't want to go back in the water. Shark, no. Arr, shark. And our first encounter card, it is... Ooh, it's an ambush. But it's only 4 roaches. And he surges 2 rats. So, not terrible, all things considered. So bring out the little puffer. Oh, and Tilda, your search resets. 4 minions. And there should be 4 minion spots there. So they just get placed evenly. So in the event of an ambush encounter, there are 3 types of encounters. There's the standard encounter. There is a mousetraps encounter in which if there are red X's, like that, or like those, if it's a mousetrap encounter, mousetraps come out. And they block you from getting to certain areas. Or there's the ambush encounter, which basically you would run it like a standard encounter, except once you establish the initiative order, you then roll a die and move the enemies that many spaces up. So potentially you're going to get immediately attacked. If the roaches can get that far. Because it did happen to me playing through once where I couldn't even get the roaches to the mice in time before they were all on one side of the water. And by the time they finally got to me, I had used my mage well enough to kill them.
Also, especially the roaches, they're not affected by water. So
Yeah,
they can move past-
enemies in general.
Yeah.
And they're not greedy roaches, so you don't have to worry.
Yeah, that's what
When a roach deals damage, they don't actually wound you if you have cheese. Instead, they take your cheese. If they're greedy roaches, they take your cheese and put it in the minion. If you don't have cheese, then you get a wound.
Isn't it, if someone kills 4 roaches, they get the Roach Master?
You kill 4 roaches in one encounter. They get the Roach Master achievement, which essentially makes any and all greedy roaches you encounter from then on just regular. So,
Is anybody who wants that?
yes.
Yes.
Who wants it though? Because we have to allow that.
Basically, yeah, you'd have to set one player as, okay, you need to be killing roaches. I think the most highly likely will be Nez,
Okay.
because he has the highest
Yeah, I
battle
have the
value.
highest battle.
So the initiative order is Maganos, Cullen, here's your cheese, before you even ask. Then Nez,
You guys ready?
then Tilda,
Yep.
then Colin. Are we gonna wind up with all the mice again? Filch, Lily.
Yeah.
But remember, it didn't ambush.
Yeah.
My dungeon master mentors are ashamed of me. And roaches.
So you have to roll a die and
yeah.
determine how many spaces.
So the roaches are moving up 1 space.
So you're right, though.
So I feel shame is a minor action.
It could have been 0.
It could have, but dice only goes to 1. So, so technically I rolled as low as I possibly could. Yes, that's what we call the day 9, or they call it the bare minimum. All right, take it away, Magnus. Yeah, and that is a success. So there is that, and there is that. I'm assuming. Yes. It can be placed now as a free action. However, one of you needs to spend an action to pick it up. And if you don't pick it up before you explore out of the tile, it's lost for good. Because in Mice and Mystics,
Is this 2 different seasons?
yes.
Yeah.
But you'll want to bridge it.
Yeah. And I can just move.
Yes. So
You
you
need
can
to
just pop
roll.
back.
Well,
It basically it's going to use all of your movement
Oh, okay.
to cross the route.
he has to stop there. Yeah. Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter. Okay.
The grappling hook is nice because it means you don't have to roll to get out of the water, but it essentially does use all of your movement to cross it. So you essentially don't need to roll. Nez.
I have to stop when I get out of the water anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just get out.
Then I'm gonna get out and search.
Okay. Yeah, because now that you've searched on the water successfully, searching. Yeah. Well, you'll still find. You'll still get an item. It's just the special search doesn't really matter, so it's
Yeah.
it's going to be regular. You didn't have a successful. So it's only on successful searches. And that puts us at Tilda.
And I'll search yourself.
Okay. And that's a success. Oh, Tilda. Why are you eating poison cheese? What is wrong with you? Check your cheese first. So it is a play immediately. It's a treachery. This mouse receives 1 poison wound marker.
I do get a cheese though for my ability.
Yep, because you were poisoned. Anytime somebody is stunned, poisoned, webbed, or charmed, Tilda gets a cheese.
Ooh, somebody to heal.
And, okay, you did move out of the water. It's Colin's turn.
I guess I'll move into the water too.
What ability did you select for Colin?
I have give order.
Okay. Well, we're house ruling it. For those at home, I'm sure you noticed, there are more than 4 mice. Normally it's 4 small characters per space, but in the case of the mice, you can essentially try and fit all of them on one space. I'll let you kind of spill over if need be, but for all intents and purposes, you're essentially just standing in the same spot.
I'm not Magnus, I'm sort
Yeah.
And I'm
You just go flat.
no.
No search? Alright. And it is Filch.
Alright, well, go ahead. Not a little further. You can just stand
A
on
popular
the, you
thing,
can just
though.
stand on the grappling hook.
Yeah.
And
Alright. There's a lot of that going around. And you find the lucky skull cap. Instead of rolling defense against an attack, a mouse wearing this skull cap may discard this card to ignore all hits from that attack. And it gives you its requirements mystic or scamp or healer. But it does give you a +1 to your core. So that is a
so I
good
can,
one.
I can just put that right back on immediately, right?
Yeah, you basically just click it.
That'd be good for if you end up like getting
Yeah, I'm
knocked
already
out.
hurt, so.
Yeah, if you get knocked out. or
Yep.
something.
Now the rope.
Now the roaches.
Coming here for mine.
3 for the one in the corner there. That one. So he's actually,
Whoa, where did he go?
1, 2, 3, yes. And I would frequently what I prefer to do, they say take each one's full action at a time. I prefer to move all first and then resolve that. 3 again for this one. He will move right next to the stack of mice there. For the one in the corner, it is 2, so he is going to move 1 and 2. And then the one in this corner, 2. So he's going to move to the other side of the mice there. Now, battle. They have a 2 attack, 1 defense. The roach on the left of the mice here, or your right, is going to 2 hits for Maganos. Highest in the initiative order. So you have 1 piece. Okay. Well, you don't have any cheese, do you?
No.
Scheiße. Alright, I apologize.
You have 2 Dave. You drink out, huh?
But as a dungeon master, neener. The roach to the right of the mice there is going to attack Nez. 2 hits.
Jeez.
Oh, now he starts rolling.
Swinging like a boss, right? The best rolls I'm ever gonna have. Yeah. So I take your cheese and you get a wound.
Oh, that's good for Lily because now everybody's got.
Not everybody, but
Or Tilda.
For Tilda. Yeah, so Tilda's actually going to get a bonus for Filch, a bonus for Maganos, and a bonus for Nez. So you will be rolling all of the dice. And another frequent house rule that I do, especially when I'm GMing, is if you can ever get your battle value over the number of dice below 5, it's an automatic hit. Plus, in addition to rolling whatever, yeah. Daniel actually took full advantage of that the very first time he played. That brings us to that roach is going to attack Lily back there and rolls nothing. But you still roll for defense to see if you get cheese.
She got cheese.
Here you go. And then the other roach. No hits. Roll for defense. Yeah. Alright. And that brings us to Lily's turn. Get the hell out of the water before the roaches move into your space and you can't move. Because one of the other things that I didn't cover is in order to move out of a space with enemies, there has to be at least as many mice as there are enemies. So if both of the roaches move into Lily's space, she's stuck. And will still be pushed down. Yeah. So, yeah.
We might as well shoot somebody.
Shoot
No,
or
we're trying to
search?
get the
Oh, right.
I was gonna say, do you want to do it instead since you have such a high attack now? No?
I got
Tilda could essentially get a Poison Master achievement. If you get captured while poisoned, you get the Poison Master achievement, which then gives you immunity to poison. And these achievements are important because it moves the end marker up 1 page every time you get an achievement.
So what I think I'm
Just
gonna do is
practice.
I'm
No,
gonna
it's like-
hang out with you this way if they all come on and it's like that. And then I can also search.
That's why I'm trying to, that's why I need to get us to separate search because I need more points.
Yeah, Nez needs armor. I can tell you, however, unfortunately due to my bad shuffling, because I don't want to transfer it, I can tell you what the next card is. You don't need to use the Tinker's Treasure to find what you're looking for. Yeah, but I can tell because I accidentally bent the card so much that it has marked. So I know what the catnip is from now on. Always. So I can tell you that whoever searches next is getting catnip.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So I can search.
Yes.
Actually, with that, since we already got the hook and thread, you can use it with your Tinker's Treasure to get you armor.
Yeah, that's what I was
However, wait till someone else does it.
So it
because that's the
is
shuffle.
Yeah.
Magnos' turn.
I'll do it now, so after.
Magnos is just like, I should go.
Start running.
2 plus your movement is 2, so you have 4. So you're going to want to turn. Probably hide in the corner. And then chuck a coin at it. And what is your action search? You already searched. Oh, did you want to pick up the fish hook?
Where you left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we all got out. Yeah, let's do that.
So everybody is out of
And
the
then
water.
we moved and then it's good.
Yeah.
We don't want to kill anything that if we're trying to get that achievement.
Oh, right, yeah.
Who is Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, then I'll
It
just
won't
take
take
it
long.
off.
I just have to wait until.
However, you could also use the Tinker's Treasure to get the other hammer that you like.
Yeah, I know. I can't decide.
I would go for
I'll
armor.
Armor because you only have
Yeah.
one defense.
What's a girl to do?
However, if the,
Think about it,
you gotta
Courtney.
search through it and
You want to
shuffle.
accessorize.
Yeah.
Get some armor.
Clothes or accessories. I mean.
So it is Nez's turn.
However, here's my thing: if she does do the Tinker's Treasure search, doesn't she have to shuffle the deck and we lose the catnip?
Yes, unless I pick out the armor.
Okay, that works.
If you just tell me what you're looking for, are you looking? Would you rather have a weapon, a helmet, or armor?
Whatever gives me the highest armor.
Well, all of the armor is only going to give you a one. So I will look through for armor. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. A peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. You're a lagoon. Don't call me a goon on camera.
So the roach achievement is it? She has to kill 4 on the same tile.
On
Yeah.
the same time.
Okay,
In
so
one
we're all
encounter.
kind of just
In one encounter.
trying not to die.
Trying not to die is your
Pretty
guys'
much.
job.
Hey.
Go to the corner.
Great. Why do you think I moved?
Um,
I can't kill you now, though.
All right, so there
or do
is.
the helmets give you more?
Yeah, but they can't even move.
It's
to me
always gonna
anyway.
be
They
just
have to
plus
move to the most.
So there's the fish scale armor. A mouse wearing this armor adds an additional 1 to defense while on a water space. So in water, it's +2. However, if you encounter Brody, when Brody chases, he will always chase toward a mouse wearing this armor first. Because you're now a mouse that smells like fish. He just comes in.
But then you can get the other achievement too.
Yeah.
You can get the cat achievement.
There's also.
That's not necessarily bad though, because if I'm gonna try to take for everybody, I expect to means I need another.
Well, plus if you guys get the catnip, it's a one-shot.
And we should let Nez use it because that pretty much gives you that +1 if you
Yeah.
have battle speak.
Yeah.
Then there's a leather breastplate, nothing special, it's exactly like what Tilda and Colin have. Then there's the walnut shell breastplate, which is a mouse wearing this breastplate adds 1 die to its roll when attempting to climb out of the water, because it basically makes you float. Yes. So those are your choices.
Are we going for fish scales? So that way I can take the cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Fish.
All right, and I will take the Tinker's Treasure. Thank you. In the box. That's one of the nice mechanics that I like about this game is once a card is used, it is removed from play, including encounters.
Alright, so let's kill some roaches.
So you go to the next chapter.
Can I hit both of them on either side?
No, there is an ability that will let you basically like swing multi-attack, but you don't
So I
have
can only attack one.
Yeah.
Why did you take protectable things?
What?
Your ability.
Because
I mean, it's good, but
no.
low defense. Well, now you're now you're okay. You're better.
Because my
Sorry.
goal, I'm playing
My
the
job
long
as
game.
Dungeon Master
I'm
is
playing the long game.
true. Bear in mind that we are going to be filming at the same time every week. So if you guys want to continue to be a part of this and see how the story unfolds, keep coming back same time, same channel, same. Yeah. And I will be writing down what equipment and abilities each of you has, so that when we come back next week, anything you have equipped, any abilities you have, and you can save 1. Your cheese and wounds reset. But you get to keep any items you have equipped, you get to keep any abilities you have, and you can pick 1 of your items that is in your pack to save.
Alright, so kill a roach. I'll kill
Sure. Yeah.
But then we would have to explain to people at home why Maganos is already OP. She has everything. Yeah.
I think we already did it. So
cheese. Cheese and a cheese.
2 hits and a cheese on a roach. Has 1 defense. Rolls none. Dead roach. And
Cheese. Cheese, please.
Sorry. Didn't know it rolled so good.
Cheese, please. So 1.
all right. And that brings us to Tilda. So there's going to be a lot of other mice just kind of like,
Yeah. Hurry up, Nez.
Tilda can.
Hurry up, Nez.
Oh no, Tilda can. Everybody else can just search.
yeah.
I can't. Already
Wait,
did.
Tilda search.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got the.
you found the fish again thread.
No, I found the fish.
No, I got the. What did I get? I got
You got
the-
poison
Oh,
cheese.
Yeah, I got the
Poison.
poison thing.
You got
Right.
the poison thing.
Poison cheese.
So the other two
You
can
should
search.
heal.
Lily and
Yeah, I'm gonna
Lily and
scooch out
Colin
though,
can-
because I can heal from mine.
Yes.
Because I'm higher on the thing and I don't want to get hit again.
You could scooch here.
So I'm gonna use.
Yeah. But that puts him closer to that
Oh.
roach, which means it'll move towards him.
Yeah.
Whatever, there's fine.
And
I'm
then
gonna
you're
use
spending
my 2 cheese to do major heal, and I can do 2 mice for 1.
one mouse for 2 or 2 mice for
Yeah,
1.
so 1 there and 1 there. So you guys are both in here. So.
I would heal Maganos.
Should
Oh, wait,
be
he's too
fine.
far.
He's way over there.
I'm
He
over
ran
there.
away. That's why I told him I was.
Should not have run that far.
Yeah, I told him he ran too far.
Yeah,
I
but
can't heal him
then,
now.
but then they can't.
So 1 from Filch and 1 from Nez. Maganos is over there like, oh! Oh!
Yeah. And I'm like, I told you shouldn't run away.
Tilda's over there healing people. Heals, please! Get over here! I don't want it! It's comfy, it's safe in the corner.
Okay. So then,
Hopefully roaches don't go near.
They won't. They have to go towards the.
Remember, as this is
That's why I did
role
that.
play, feel free to role play the hell out of your character and, you know, take on the part of that mouse if you
So
want.
I can share with someone who's adjacent, right?
Yes.
So I'm
Adjacent
gonna
or safe space.
Are you
give me
gonna
the
do
2 cheese, yeah. This way, whenever he gets near me,
That'll work?
As a suggestion, oh wait, no, you have major heal, not
Yeah.
first aid.
yeah.
Because I was gonna say, yeah, it takes 2 cheese.
First aid I think was 2 cheese as well, but it didn't heal as much.
Yeah.
And I could only choose
Is there
one.
another mouse adjacent to you that could give up a cheese? Because essentially, Colin, if you share cheese with Tilda and then you take a cheese from someone else, you can use give order to immediately give Tilda an action, one of which could be an ability. So Tilda could then heal again.
Filch and Lily both have
Well,
But
no one else
actually,
needs to
I
be
could give
healed
the-
except for-
Oh, right.
But I can give the give order with my 1 cheese to her, and she can attack that second roach.
Yep. Even better idea.
Do that. Sounds good. The faster we go.
Because you can always get more cheese back to Tilda.
Yeah.
Right.
So giving
Filch
order
too far away to heal.
and-
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Filch
this
and
works
Lily
better.
both have cheese.
Right.
So you immediately take an action. That is 2 hits, 1 cheese. Hey, I saw that video on the internet. And rolls no defense.
Yes.
So actually, I think that's what I should do.
And that,
Especially since we want her to get
now it goes back to Colin's turn, so now you actually have an action and a move of your round.
Ah, so I can actually search.
Uh-huh. Nope. Alright. That, and then you have movement as well.
I'm actually going to stay in the space this way. If she's by herself, I can take one of the hits from the roaches.
No problem. Which means it's Filch.
I'm gonna move away a little bit. You come hang out with me. Very bad.
You are right
I'm in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come hang out with you.
Yeah, maybe you should give her the cheese this way. Next round, we can give Maganos
She can run to Maganos, or Maganos can run back to you to heal.
Because now I don't need to be over there. They're over there.
Yeah.
So he went ahead and gave that.
And then you do also, you can still, or no, you searched, right?
Sorry.
So that just uses your action, which means roaches. So they are both going to, the one on the dry land there is going to move directly into the space with the 3 mice there. So that you are all, yep, all 4 on there. And then the other one is moving.
They get a cheese for movement.
Actually, I did that wrong. It would have gone there. Because it tries to move as close as it can to mice. Or no, it
Well,
moves
no,
as close
right
as it
here.
can to largest group.
So it's here.
That's right.
Is it, doesn't it go diagonal?
Yeah.
Is this it? Yeah. Well, they're both the same, but this is a bigger group, so it's gonna
Yeah.
Crap, it's in the same space.
So one of them is in the same space, one of them is not.
Well, on your turn, you can move out.
Would somebody have any extra dice, please? Yes, and next week if you can, we'll bring shirts.
I'll actually bring the cheese and the wings too, because with this many players,
We can have another pile
Yeah.
of here.
yeah.
That's one of the problems about adding more mice, is that you run out of stuff.
Well, especially when you got hoarders like Maganos.
Yeah. Plus the enemies are getting cheese and So that is one hit for Maganos. No.
No.
I'm sorry,
I'm
you're out of the way.
over
The
I keep forgetting you moved.
Nez.
Sorry. Nez. So Nez, you roll 2 defense. Okay, but you get a cheese. And so
Well,
you
doesn't the roach
take...
still have cheese?
Yes, actually.
You get the cheese and lose it.
It's okay.
Actually,
But
last
it's-
one and gained
but
one.
it
Yeah,
happened.
last one I gained one, so it's fine.
And then the other roach is going to attack... Let's see, Tilda, you're at the wall.
Those ones filled with food.
Calling.
Oh.
One hit, one cheese.
What's the first cheese to the cheese?
1 block.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Good.
And that ends the roach's turn, moving it to Lily. What would you like to do? I'm guessing I see a search in your future.
I do, once I move out of the way of the roach.
Okay. Run away!
You should have come to the wall party. Hang out at the wall party.
Okay,
This is decorated, it's nice and
right
everything.
here. And I'm going to switch.
Alright. No. Which moves it back to Maganos. Gonna move closer to the healer now.
Heels, please. No.
Heels here.
Yeah, heels here.
Not quite dead yet! I didn't go down for a walk!
You don't want me to say
Can you heal the boo-boo? Can you heal the
That's right. Always look on the right side of life. That legally, that's all we can sing of it. That moves it to. No, it was just Maganos. Now it's next.
Smash. Actually,
Actually, you can
You
take
may want to
one
run
water.
out of the space so
I
that you
can I
can.
move here
Yeah.
and hit both of them?
You
Not
can't
at the
hit
same
both.
time, but like
Yeah.
I can hit
well, he's
either
probably
one.
gonna move
Either
it with
one.
you, but yeah.
But that way it moves you out so that you
You
don't
get the
lose
bonus.
the battle versus the roach that's in the space with calm.
Roach.
That is
That's a lot.
3 hits
That's
and
a-
And a
cheese.
chud.
Jesus.
Oh, that poor roach.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure the cheese are
Yeah. Dead roach.
considering it only has one letter. Mathematically speaking,
But we still have to roll to see if we get the cheese. And so, now it's still
Tilda.
done. Is there anyone near you that can... Oh, you
Already
have
got
to,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Alright. So he
He
has
gave
2
me one. He
wounds.
gave me one. Heal. Yeah. So, because he's the only one that's wounded now.
Yep.
Besides my poison.
Alright. Yeah, which you'll need the cure ability to do something about that. Or I think the Whisker Froth Elixir.
Yeah.
Which moves it to... Call... no, you still have an action.
He
Or
can't
you
What
searched.
else? Yeah, I've already searched, so.
And it's stupid to move because we're right at the door.
Just hang out here.
Okay. Colin,
Alright.
give an order.
I can't, I got cheese.
You can take one from Nez.
Yeah, you
And
can
then
one
use
for
it to
me.
give an order to
Or
him.
he could
I'm
search
gonna
first.
use Nez and cheese over here to an order for you.
Like, Nez, eat this piece of cheese and then hit something.
Smash it.
Make yourself useful. This is why we brought you. Go ahead, Hulk.
Yeah, smash.
We've got a
One hit, one cheese.
You earned it right back.
It's true.
There you go.
That is the nice thing about Colin, though.
One cheese.
Woo!
And it
Dead
killed it.
roach.
Nice.
And now she's the roach master.
Yes, you
Roach
are.
Master. I don't know if I like that title, but I'll be okay with it.
There you go. And so
Dominating.
what happens is
That sounds weird.
I know.
Yeah, that definitely sounds.
And now
nice.
Colin can search too.
Yeah.
yes. But what now happens is anytime you encounter greedy roaches, they're regular.
Lily had
Oh, for everybody or for just me?
For everything.
Everybody.
Cool.
When we
And then
Good, good.
in addition to that, anytime you get an achievement, it also moves the end marker 1 page up.
It's a very, very good thing.
Yes.
And I guess I'll search. Successfully,
Yay.
finally.
Nice.
Which is catnip.
Catnip. Yay.
Oh, that's a party item.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, the only party items that you can actually
That's not what
find.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
like.
That's what the plant
yeah,
looks like.
that's what it looks like.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was more like grass.
Nope.
Nope.
No. It's just cat
Good.
grass.
People mistake it for
Something
poison
tells
ivy a
me
lot.
that Colin was listening to some Bob Marley. He's like, hey, you guys. Now that we killed those roaches.
You would not want to smoke
roaches.
Baby, don't worry.
Don't.
And
sing that
that's
song.
all we can sing. Again, for legal reasons. Because I don't
Sing
want
it 'cause it's bad.
Yeah. And that ends the encounter.
Yep.
So that goes bye-bye.
Thanks, man.
And so that was Colin's turn. He searched, and now it is Filch who is also searched. Lily has not searched, but if it gets to the end, you get a cheese on the wheel. So Filch, you may want to just explore.
Can't Lily search and then explore?
No, because it's an action.
Not an action.
Okay, so should I just?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you explore. Would you like to explore into this space or that space?
The one with the feet.
Or
The one with
split.
the feet.
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 You could split and do 3
Let's
each.
split.
Yeah, let's do 3 each. Okay. But still go. Yeah.
I'll go
Alright.
on the one with the feet.
I'll still go on one.
Put me wherever, I don't care.
Or you can do 4 on the one with the feet so that nothing can spawn there.
There you go.
2 on the other.
Yeah.
Who wants to go on the one with the
You probably should have put one on the range one.
All right, and if you would hand me that extra tile there, because we don't need that anymore. So as you enter through the little crack in the wall here, you come out into a cave, and up above you, you can hear what sounds like a woman's voice saying, "Get out, I don't want you here no more." And turns to the group and says, "That sounds like it's Miss Maggie." Tilda says, "Sounds like something's giving the woman a terrible fright. We should go check on her." So there is the optional mandatory side quest, being that you have to explore it on this space to go up to the kitchen. I'm not worried too much about Brody because with 6 mice,
Well,
plus you
that
have
and
catnip. So, yeah, I think you guys are alright. So let's find out what you're fighting, shall we? And it's another ambush, and it would be 4 greedy roaches, but because you have the roach master with you, so it was a good idea that you did that, it is now just 4 regular roaches.
Hey, greedy roaches. They were the bane of my existence when they were coming through.
So 2 on each spawn. Alright, and I will throw them back in the initiative here.
Shuffle better.
Don't shuffle better.
No,
It's
I'm
nice
putting
to
it.
have them at
I'm
the end.
putting it in the middle there,
End up on the
and
bottom.
now I'm gonna shuffle.
It's still gonna end on the bottom.
You're gonna end up on the bottom, David.
Or it's gonna
And that is what she said.
Awkward.
We were all thinking about when she said it.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys about my wonderful idea that I want to start a Twitter? Tilda first, Filch second.
That's what she said first?
Yeah, the girl who says things
The she?
on Twitter. Yeah, and just have it be like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
totally called it.
Well, it's an ambush, so meh.
I still called where it would start.
Watch your phone calls again.
And the GM table points.
I am the worst at this game. Okay, Tilda, you are up first.
Sunday we come back here. Monday.
He got it.
Yeah, I gave it.
I'll probably just search and see, but follow everyone else.
Okay.
Well then, sucks to you.
Successful. Oh, by the way, research all your reset all your search counters.
Not me now.
All right. What is your lore value there, Tilda?
2.
Nice. So you found the Mystic Tome. You can look through the search deck, take any one scroll card from the search deck, place this card back in the search deck, then shuffle the search. Would you like to do that now?
Yeah, might as well.
I almost threw it in the box, but then I remembered it says. So there is Invoke Cheddar Golem. And it requires 3 lore, so I think only Magnus can use it. But basically, when a mouse uses this scroll, its battle becomes 4, its defense becomes 3. Once there are no minions remaining on the tile with the scroll's user, the effect of the scroll ends. Basically, you have the ability to turn someone into a cheese golem,
Fine.
There is slow. Choose a minion card on the initiative track. Figures from that initiative card cannot move or attack until the next time this scroll's user takes a turn. Only requires 2 lore. Summon Cat. A mouse may use this scroll to immediately encounter Brody. This scroll cannot be used on a tunnel, sewer, or pipe style. Would be good if you want to immediately encounter Brody and then defeat him. Only requires 2. Teleport. 1 at a time, move this mouse and any other mice on the same tile to any other available space on the same tile for 3. A 3 lore. That's not a scroll. I think that might be it. Oh, and heal all. Requires 2 lore. Choose a wounded mouse on the same tile as this scroll's user. Remove all wound markers and poison wound markers from that mouse's character card. So that's one way you could heal your poison. And there are a couple more. Or one more. There is Levitate. Requires 2 lore. Until the scroll user's next turn, when moving, all mice ignore yellow lines, red lines, and voids between pipe spaces. They can pass over mouse traps, occupied spaces, and water spaces as if they were normal empty spaces. So basically, you can fly, Peter.
That would actually be something for the side quest too.
Allow me to do my 2.
Yeah, the app. Go to like the little app store that they have. Type in Blocker Plus.
Even though I only
Install it once.
Well, not
So
so
should I
the
block all
roaches
the
are
ads
up
on
on
Facebook?
What do you guys think I should get?
Yeah, you see a lot of
He'll
Should I get some of them?
Levitate, slow, teleport, invoke Cheddar Golem,
I like the Cheddar Golem.
or summon Cat.
or summon Cat because we can just bring him right away.
Plus, if you summon the cat, then you don't need to
Get the surge.
get the surge to happen
another stupid
in order to encounter Brody.
Because even if the surge
Because
comes
1
up after
poison
he's
isn't
already
that
gone.
bad. Plus, if you get captured, then you are immune to poison.
Whatever you
And
guys
I am considering also making the personal achievements carry over chapter to chapter as well. Because normally they would reset chapter to chapter, but I think it would be fun to have someone start with you so that you're already kind of ready to go.
Do the cat.
Alright, summon Cat. It cannot be used until you are above ground. And then I would put this in there. So he took the scroll that basically allows him to summon Brody.
I just didn't know what the other was.
Requires 2. So anybody can use it, except Filch. But Filch can use it because you have a bonus from your helmet. So now that it was an ambush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only if the encounter is a mousetrap's encounter, then we put those in. Well, you don't have to worry about it because
Yeah, whatever.
you can move over mousetraps and not be affected by it. So that was Tilda searched. That makes it Filch's turn because you're not moving, right?
Yep. I'm also not gonna.
All right.
Yep.
Alrighty. And you find another helmet. The Acorn helmet. The wearer of this helmet cannot be stunned. That can only be used by a warrior or healer.
I would
can
recommend
already
giving it
take all
to
this done.
Because
There you go. Because I'm the other warrior and this way I don't get stunned.
There you go.
or healer, so it could also go to Tilda.
Yeah.
I like it better.
That way your healer doesn't get stunned. Also a thought. So Filch searched. Maganos. Shenanigans, reroll please. Alright.
I forgot to give him back
And you got the disguises party party item.
bag.
Basically you can discard the disguises to immediately skip an encounter and, well,
Only
if
with
it's
rats.
just rats, then you skip the encounter altogether. If it's rats and something else, then the rats are removed. They basically just kind of go away. You put on rat costumes. Which moves it to Lily. Now, actually, Lily, I forgot you have the preemptive shot. You could have immediately used it once the quest started. And also, another thing that I forgot, you need 4 cheese.
That's right.
Because you have explored 2 previously unexplored tiles.
Yeah.
So you are almost leveled up. Yeah. By the way, you will all have to remember your own abilities and skills and whatnot, because I won't. I forget everything. When you're trying to hold like 200 rules in your head at a time, stuff tends to slip.
Your wheel's almost done.
So, what would you like to do, Lily? Shoot roach, search.
I want to shoot a roach.
Okay. I will, because I forgot that you had the preemptive shot, I will allow you to spend 1 cheese to do that, as though you did it immediately when the encounter starts, if you would like. Your humble, friendly GM makes this offer once and once only. So basically, you would get 2 attacks.
Okay. So here we go.
So you're
Attack number
shooting.
1.
I suppose it doesn't really
Doesn't
matter.
matter. It's a roach.
That is 1 hit, and Roach rolls no defense. Which one did you hit? That
The
one?
one she hit with the
What
dice.
I
Clearly.
always
Clearly.
And then,
Then I go after the other one.
now, yeah. Always up in the air. And rolls no defense, but you didn't roll a hit,
Yeah, if I do get you.
so you get
She gets her cheese
it
back.
back.
So kill that roach.
So one of them is dead. The other one stays. Because she rolled a sword, but she needed a bow.
Oh.
So then it is Nez. Nez, you gonna Leroy Jenkins this thing?
I'm trying. I think,
Alright, time's up. Let's do this.
I don't think I can make it there. There's no way I can make it there.
You could make it
I'm gonna
up
put
into
myself
there
in
so that
ahead
they'll start moving
so that
towards
they'll
you.
move towards me.
Yeah.
So I'll
And when I
move,
get a move, I'll run up there with you.
so I can move 3, so I'll move 3.
Okay.
And
And
then-
what does your protectability do?
Oh,
Anytime you
it's,
roll.
You may use this ability at the beginning of a mouse's turn until the mouse's next turn. All mice in the same space as the mouse can.
The sword shield
the sword
star.
shield star dice results as 2 successes instead of 1.
You could do that now, so that anyone who moves into the space with you is also protected.
Well, it'd be the space. It'd be at the beginning of my turn, so it's the space it
Yeah, you
started
have
at.
He don't argue with the dungeon master. He said you can.
I'm allowing you to do it now, since if you'd like, so that way, say if Colin moves up into your space as well to try and take some roaches on.
Okay.
Protect the
Usually,
party.
I'm usually at the beginning, so now since I'm done with that,
Yeah. So you can essentially
Yeah, I'll
protect
do that.
everybody.
So-
Because it's until your next turn. So
Okay.
anyone that moves into the space with you would have that
Alright.
protectability.
I'll just do the protectability.
So anytime you get that, the sword, shield, star, it counts as 2 defenses instead of 1.
And she can still serve.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
So the first one.
And as you find the levitate scroll,
I'll give it to you guys if you want.
and then it is the roaches.
Do that one.
Okay.
You needed to switch dice. That's your problem.
Right? Should have just gotten rid of it. I'm gonna start rolling a
Well, that
d20 for
doesn't
their
work.
movement and for ambushes and stuff. I'll only use those for battle.
You still.
That one time.
Hey, I watched the other side video. I remember that.
Yeah. This is why I don't play dice games. And yet I just bought 2 yesterday. I just got zombie dice again because I gave my other copy to my friend to get him interested in tabletop gaming. Anyway. And Dungeon Crawl, which I haven't played yet.
I like that one. That was pretty cool.
Okay, so...
That one.
Okay, so... yes.
And nachos.
I said, okay, so...
Yeah.
One hit. No sense. Oh wait, no, they're roaches, so they take cheese. Lactose intolerance sucks. And now it's Colin.
What do you call roaches and still cheese?
Hmm?
What do you call roaches and still cheese?
Greedy roaches.
Put
Nacho
Colin
cheese.
with Nez. And then I guess I'll attack that one roach.
Colin runs up next to Nez. He's like, "You have my sword." Lily's
my
back
hammer.
there.
And my bow.
Actually, I can attack in.
And Maganos is like, "And not my help.
So I'll attack that
You
roach.
have my approving nod."
Yep. Well, I'm Gandalf.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, screw it. I'm not gonna do any work.
So
So
I'm
two
just
hits
gonna
and one
meet you
cheese.
everywhere and leave.
it's dead, so we'll see if
Yeah.
the roaches gain cheese.
Well, this encounter is going well for me. All right.
I'm the Gandalf of mine.
Yes.
The Gandalf of mine.
secret files.
It's like, come with me and then I'll leave.
I need to leave
Alright,
somewhere else. It's not
So
here.
that was Colin's turn, making it Tilda.
You will get to know lots of trouble.
Tilda, if you occupy the same. Oh no, nobody's injured, huh? Only you.
Not
So
yet.
does
anyway.
the thing is that are we gonna keep cheese or not?
No.
I
Only
guess
if there's
you
no
will.
enemies
Well, you'll get it
and it
Then-
hits the end.
Okay.
Then
Just to make sure. Yeah, in the future,
it's
I
just
guess
to
it was
keep
on there
people.
anyway.
It's just to keep
Yeah,
people
you'll
moving,
automatically
so
get
that
one.
they're not just like spending all their time trying to search.
Okay. Got it.
Keeps the game moving.
Well, I moved
So
up.
what was that?
I moved up.
Oh, that was a movement.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's it.
Are you gonna search?
I already have.
Oh right, you got the
Can you,
tome.
you don't have any range.
No, that's just me.
I'm just hanging out.
Well, and
Really? And then, like,
actually there is bows in the search deck that scamps can use as well. So you
Right.
could potentially have 3 archers.
cool. So I can use both my hands to
Which
Well,
means
arrow.
Yeah,
Filch,
and then have
It's your
your
turn
dagger.
now.
in my tail.
Yep.
That's your turn.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and move up.
Filch can be armed to the teeth. There's actually an awesome ability for the scamp. I believe it's Knife Strike. I think it's called.
Do
And
you get
basically,
cheese on
Oh,
movement?
yeah.
No.
So you
No.
get 4.
Oh, yeah, I get my movement. You're right. So
with the Knife
go
Strike
after
ability
Roach.
for the scamp,
If you want.
Sure,
yeah.
might as well get a cheese.
Yeah, you'll get a cheese for doing that. So.
with the Knife Strike ability for the scamp, it's an awesome one because you can attack for every dagger you have equipped, and there are 3 in the deck. So if you give all 3 daggers to Filch, he can essentially do like a whirlwind of 3 daggers and attack 3 times separately.
wow.
Yeah.
So I'm saving a roach.
All right.
They get a cheese.
Roach is dead,
Yep. The roach is dead.
but he did get a cheese.
And then he gets one.
He gets a
Just
cheese.
himself too.
I killed the roach.
Yep. And that moves it to Maganos. You gonna shoot something? Or you gonna search something? Wait, did you search it? No, you haven't.
Yeah. Yes, I have. But I got the.
Oh, right. Right.
You can move up in the
gonna
pile.
So has
I'm gonna
everybody
move first.
searched?
I have it.
Colin and Lily have it.
You can move up in this space.
2 plus your movement, 4.
I would.
That way, yeah, you are ready to
I'm
explore
gonna
that
move
way.
there so that since I've already searched.
And are you shooting the roach? Okay, so you need
2. And I get 2 cheese.
all right, 2 Jesus, and 1 bow, and the roach rolls no defense. And so that is the end of that encounter. Goes back here.
Lily's turn.
That goes over here. Lily, I'm guessing you will want to search
Yeah, I would say.
since you haven't searched yet. It happens. Oh, I shouldn't have even rolled defense against you. No, I keep confusing this ability with the dagger ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. You shouldn't have rolled defense against me.
Yes.
So does that mean that I get a cheese?
Actually, yes, it does, because he wouldn't have rolled defense, because it would have been 0. So.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because Colin can.
Well, I was gonna actually.
Yeah.
Colin
I've already searched.
can give order, which means you could
Search.
give an immediate action to
Right.
somebody.
You could
And
search.
search is one of the actions. So you could essentially spend a cheese to give Lily another search action so that all of you can search before you leave.
But I have
Like-
to explore. I can't search either way.
Well, you just
They have to be on
you
the
can
same
take a
tile, though.
cheese.
She needs to move up if she's gonna do that.
No, same tile is actually.
Same tile, not space.
Oh, tile. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
When it says tile, it's
Yeah.
this. When it's
I didn't
space.
think about it.
So you could effectively try and give her one more chance to search, and then search yourself, and then just you guys take one cheese, and then Tilda explores.
I don't think it's that big of a deal to take one cheese on the wheel.
Sure.
Because we just thought it was gonna be there. It's really.
Yeah.
Plus, you've already gotten an achievement. You're probably going to get the Pie Master achievement, and God knows how many other achievements you're going to get before this is over.
Oh, we'll get to
So,
that one.
Yeah,
I've already searched.
Yeah, it's just these two.
It's just
They were saying.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is
Oh,
he
he
could
can go and
give
then
her a
tell them-
search action, and then search himself.
Yeah.
We'll just take
we
the
could
cheese.
We can do that, that's fine.
Alright,
So, all right, Lily, search
Try
away.
again.
Just like now.
Come on, search.
Yay!
Yay! You had to hit
Lily,
it
you
again.
find the shifting cloak. Immediately after blocking all hits from an attack by a minion, the wearer of this cloak may be placed on any normal space on the same tile. It's one defense, but it can only be used by a mystic or skin.
Aw. I finally get something, can't even use
So
it.
who's the mystic? Me. You? Oh.
Maganos or Filch, but
Well, Magnus
have it in your
doesn't
pack.
have very much.
Unless you move up to one of them, you can.
Which one?
Yeah. So that's just in your pack for now until you give it to one of them.
I only have one defender, so if I can give it to me.
Yeah,
I've got
search
a
marker on it.
defender already. So.
Yeah.
And I successfully search.
Awesome. And you find the accurate bow, which can be used for an archer or a scamp. When attacking with this bow, all
You're with
bow
us.
stars rolled count as 2 successes instead of 1.
And with my free action, I can give it to him, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
you are
he's
close. So you can actually immediately equip that because you basically just kind of like chuck the dagger up in the air, and you grab the bow from Colin as he hands it to you, and you're like, sweet! And then the dagger comes, and Nez is there like, filter, dagger, tail.
So basically now your range plus if they get up, you can stab them with your dagger.
Yep.
And then they're gonna change. Normally, someone wouldn't be able to equip this too, right? It's because he has the free.
Because he has that, yeah.
It's nice that he's ranged and maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
And plus,
I
you
just
could
need a helmet and I'm good.
potentially
So
up.
now-
So you could make Filch a freaking juggernaut because he already has a helmet that he can discard to block all hits. Plus, in addition, anytime you block all hits, this lets you move to any space on the tile. Plus, it ups your defense. Plus, you have a dagger. Plus, you have a bow. Sweet Jesus, sir! You could potentially become the damage class next to Nez. It's just the two of you
well,
running
what's
in
kind
and
of cool
messing
now
up.
is
Go like,
the toothpick. If he doesn't want to be a range, you can take the toothpick, and that when you're blocking, if they roll a cheese, you kill them. You give them
Yeah.
a wound.
Yeah.
So my filter ability does affect the bow too, right?
I'm sorry?
The filter ability does affect the bow as well,
Yes.
right?
Anytime you kill anything. That's just an in general. That's what always happens. What is his other ability?
Tell.
The preemptive tile.
Oh, right.
So you can either give that to either him or
I'd
him.
suggest giving it to him because he doesn't have
He
any way to
doesn't
defend
have
from
any,
Yeah.
injury.
Protect
I
the
would agree.
mage.
Yeah.
Plus, you've got enough range and melee that you could essentially do some. Plus, you have 2 defense already.
Yeah.
So, probably.
And plus, if you do with the bow, that gives you +1.
So,
You'll use 3
Maganos,
dice to roll.
well, it's Tilda's turn. I don't know if Tilda, you would want to take the shifting cloak. Well, oh wait, you can't move twice. Never mind. Lily didn't move it. You know what, Lily, on your turn, you moved over here.
Woo!
And then, now you can just give it to him.
I mean, she would give it to me anyway when we.
Yeah.
But you'll want it before, because as soon as you guys start this quest, there's going to be a lot of stuff going down. So,
So now I'm gonna move over and explore them, right?
okay.
Or we could just,
Because everyone's searched. So.
Yeah.
Or we could just automatically move it to mine.
Thank you. And so go ahead and place all of you on the kitchen floor there.
Right here. Yeah.
So there's a high risk, high reward here.
Don't forget you can cheese for new floors.
Oh yeah, cheese.
But first we have to put this cheese out. Because there is a special encounter going on here. And I will explain in a moment. Yes. There's a reason.
Did you see that?
Okay, and you get 2 cheese. So you have enough to level up. And you have your preemptive shot ability. So once I get everything started, you can use that. So,
Calling up first. Calling up here. I'd like that given where it's like, okay, you're close by, squish him.
You guys set up. I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick.
Take the roaches and just set aside the Brody ones here. So, 2 roaches are on the table. They are going to attempt to eat cheese. So every time they roll a cheese, they eat a piece and it goes on the menu. They're not greedy. That's just that's the special. Yeah. Then put 3 in that corner and 3 on this side.
The inspector's not been here.
Right.
Or the cat in the menu needs job.
Cats don't.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Our cat does.
So,
My cat kills scorpions.
as you
Just play with them
Until they die.
until they eventually.
as you came up through the floor, you see Miss Maggie is there, and she's got a broom, and she's trying to swat off these roaches. There's another special thing, right? Well, no, this is why, because she also saw the mice and got startled. So Miss Maggie is, she's frightened by the roaches. She's now frightened by mice. Anytime you kill a roach, or attempt to, you have to roll a die. If you get a star, you get her attention, and the roach dies. And then you get the Pie Master achievement, and you don't have to make that roll anymore. However, if you don't get a star, Ms. Maggie knocks the roach over, or the mouse, knocks them prone. You have to spend all of your movement to get up from being knocked down. And she hits the roach that you just killed onto the table to start eating more cheese. So I was telling them the special encounter is that these 2 roaches are up here trying to eat cheese. They're not going to be attacking you.
Okay, go here.
And when they eat it, it goes here.
Hey, welcome to Well Played, real people playing real fun games. They air every Friday.
The table is one giant space, so essentially the whole thing is a minion spawn point.
Can we get up on the bed?
Yes. One of the things that I have not explained yet, anytime there's a red line, you cannot cross that unless you can levitate.
Or you have the
So,
thread, right?
Naz, exactly. Naz, you can actually fly and just go straight up there. However, anytime you see a yellow spot like this with the arrow, if you are moving against the arrow, you can spend 3 of your movement to move against the arrow there. So essentially you'd be crawling up the, yeah, and so can you. And so, essentially you're crawling up the mop onto the table. That's why it uses more movement.
Or I can just move there. Like a hit.
Yeah.
What's our goal?
So you need
I'm getting the
to
cheese.
kill the roaches, keep them from eating the cheese, and get Ms. Maggie's attention.
So,
Basically.
I would say,
And plus, while you're up here, you can also immediately fight roaches.
Well, I want to use this to
Okay.
because I can't use it.
but
Well, I
you
guess I
can use it. I was saying maybe you should use it.
You can
Go up
levitate,
there.
fly up to the table, and start killing the roaches.
Before, that would be better because you have the
Find
most.
out what the initiative is. Find out what the initiative
Is that
Yeah.
3?
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3.
Well, levitate.
Levitate is anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to. I don't have
Well, but it just means she can move over anything. It's still whatever your movement value is.
And we have to use one of our actions to put the fish hook and thread down, right?
No. Setting it down is a free action, but picking it up is an action.
Can we climb up with that?
Yeah, that was the other thing that I was going to cover as well, is that, like I said, the fish hook and thread links any 2 spaces that it touches. So, the nice thing about having the fissure fin thread is that you guys could just throw it down and use that to get up instead of spending movement trying to get up the mop or using a levitate scroll which you may want it later.
I can just get an action move there.
Yeah. Well, don't you have to defend? Yeah. Immediately after blocking
Right, I'm
all
just saying,
hits.
if I block ahead.
If you block all the hits from an attack, then you will. So, the order is Lily, which is good because you wanted a preemptive shot.
Thank you.
Filch, Nez, the Roaches, Tilda, Maganos, and Colin. Hey, I'm finally not in the last on the initiative order. Gamey. Oh, for defense.
Don't they roll to see?
No, it's not an ambush. It's just
Oh,
that.
right.
So, Lily, you are firing your preemptive shot.
So,
Yeah.
here's my question. What are we going to do? Because he can use summon attack. That's going to bring Brody right away.
Yeah, we
And
want
then you
to
can
wait.
immediately use the catnip to take him out.
Yeah, but we wait to wait.
Kill the
for
roaches first.
Yeah. Unless they get the cheese
Can
up.
we kill the roaches first?
Yes, but if you reach the end of the initiative order, or if this fills, Brody's coming out anyway.
Right, yeah. But I know we want to wait till Nez's turn to use catnip.
Well, it doesn't matter who gets it.
Well, you do need to, if basically if you want Nez to use the catnip to kill Brody, then you want to give Nez the scroll. Because in order to use it, it has to be used on the owner's turn.
But I don't have.
It doesn't really. All that matters to this is that just all large minions roll a favorite die when defending against an attack.
Which is good for Nez.
Yeah.
Because that way you, or Filch for that matter. That's actually on the episode of Well Played, which if our viewers at home watch that one, that's essentially what I did with Filch. Was I had the same helmet, and I ran up and dove on the centipede and started attacking. So go ahead and take a shot there, Lily. Take a shot. Jesus! Okay, so that's 2 hits.
I heard it.
No defense. So what are you shooting?
My chair, but
It's not on your chair?
it's crossed in here, but
Dice down! Medic! Okay,
heals here.
so,
Okay.
which one did you shoot?
I shot this.
I would shoot one of the ones on the table.
Oh, well, can I? Okay, then on the table, yeah.
Okay. And now you have your actual turn, because that was preemptive shot.
Shoot the other one on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
She
if
can
there are
level
none
up,
on the
right?
table... Oh, wait, first, roll 1 die and attempt to get a star.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you are knocked down. Now, when you are knocked down, you can still attack. You just can't move until you spend all of your movement to get back up. And the roach did not die.
I thought her thing would kill it because it's preemptive. That overrides.
Anytime a roach would be killed, you have to do the Ms. Maggie check.
Okay. Even if it's even if it's not thing.
So basically, you went to fire an arrow, and Ms. Maggie swatted you with the broom at the same time. And the arrow looked like it hit, but it just narrowly took off one of the antennae of a roach. It was just like. There you go. All right. Roach rolls 1 defense. So go ahead and make the Ms. Maggie check for me again there. And would you like to spend your movement to get? Or, well, no, because she hit you back down. Well, no, she would have hit you again. So now you could use your movement to get back up. So you're not laying down. Lily likes naps.
I'm just gonna lay here.
So now it is Filch.
Okay, well.
You wanna shoot at those
Oh,
roaches?
wait, really quick. Lily, before you end your turn, would you like to level up?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Everything's not going after the
Well,
Did you put it in alphabetical? Are you sure?
for the abilities?
Yeah.
Okay. So those are your abilities. I thought you meant you put the abilities in alphabetical order. I was like,
By class. No, I did archer, then I did whatever. Then
that's why I stopped for a second. I was like,
No,
That's
no.
gonna make it harder.
No, like class.
And that is what she said. So you have power shot, which I aim shot, accurate shot, and then there's keen
Put
eye.
out your pennies off of your
Oh, thank you.
Keen eye is something that I think you need. No offense, Rachel.
None taken. None taken.
I know,
I
you
like
play
the
dice
dice.
games all the time. You should be better at this.
Do better!
This is why I don't play cards.
No, because the others are very expensive. Aim shot would also be another good one for you. Basically, you can use this ability before making a ranged attack, and you add 1 to your battle.
So did you see the?
So it's either a choice of search or more battle.
jersey?
But
What are they wearing?
my
Why?
advisor
A giant chihuahua face.
So that way you have 2 mice that have good search abilities.
Because it's going to be Bark in the Park, and so they're going to bid on the jersey, and all that money's going to go to the Humane Society of El Paso. But
And that brings us to Filch. Now it's your turn.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot roach on the table.
All right.
Actually, 3 dice.
Yes, because it's your battle value plus.
Plus the bonus from it.
You do get a cheese. And you have enough now that. Oh wait, you can't use your ability because it's a search ability, and since you attempted to battle it. And then the roach still.
No, the roach doesn't roll defense. It's Filch.
It's Filch.
Oh right, because he has the dagger.
Yeah.
too bad you can't.
No, it's only one attacking with the dagger.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay,
can
so-
daggers. It's just this.
But it rolls.
Alright.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
So it
That's
is.
crazy.
Are you going
Did she
move?
knock me down, or did I make
No,
it dead?
it's only if you would
Oh,
kill
okay.
a roach.
Really?
You could attempt to like scurry up the table,
Well, we can throw down the fish hook.
Yeah, I was like,
and the fish hook and thread can be thrown down as a free action.
But no one's near the thing.
Well, he could have. I mean, Filch could move here and then throw it on the fish hook and thread, so
Why
that
not?
someone on their turn
Can go up.
yeah. So I go. Yeah, I'll go ahead and move over
There's a
there.
headed
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
and throwing down.
Throwing it up.
Just make sure someone picks it up.
So
Yeah.
does it go like this?
It's connecting to.
Yeah, it would be there to there because it can't quite reach there and the table. So it's there and there.
It's not quite a super.
Yeah.
It's not a Batman grapple.
So normally you would spend all of your movement getting across the fish hook and thread. However, if you use movement getting to it, you then use the rest of your movement getting across. So effectively, anyone can now move up to the fish hook and thread and then go up on the
As
table.
long as you have one.
That brings us to Nez.
Just try to go.
No, I haven't. I want to. I've heard it's really nice.
So, I didn't like the fact it's downtown because parking sucks.
yeah.
But it's really
Alright, but
nice.
they have to put that on purpose. 'Cause
Now,
they're wanting
Nez,
to make downtown.
I will
pretty
tell
down.
you, this is one
They have to
giant
figure out the parking.
space at the table. So you actually lose your bonus. Your hammer drops from a +2 to a +1 because they are in the same space as you type.
Yeah.
Because it's still relatively decent.
Unless,
on the east
yeah,
side. And it's good.
unless you want to go over to like one of the roaches.
And they could add a lot more for expanding parking.
Because I think you've got enough people kind of
Well, it's
bidding
kind
for
of
the
cool.
table.
Yeah, I tried
Then
it.
that way you can still get your bonus.
I'll just do that then.
First though, I recommend you take the summon cat. Matilda. So you rolled a 3 for your movement, right?
Can I take
On the
and
dice.
give, or just do one or the other?
Yeah.
You can.
So take the summon cat. You rolled a 3 for your movement plus your 1. So you're just moving 1 over.
I don't know where to go in.
It doesn't matter. You just need to be one space away from them, so you get your bonus.
Yeah. Roll 4 dice. You get 2 your orders.
Anything less.
Alright,
Yeah,
Roach rolls a cheese, but no defense. Dead Roach.
Well, we
Yeah,
Oh,
check
wait.
that a roll.
Roll check. Ms. Maggie check.
No.
Knockdown.
Alright. It gets knocked onto the table and you get knocked.
You know, guys,
So now it
I
is.
can take care of the roaches on the floor. If you guys want to pick.
I'm working on it.
I'm already gonna do that.
Aaron versus Omar.
Alright, roaches.
Omar V versus Raul, and then Jeremy versus.
Actually, if I were you guys, I would let your rangers take care of the ones on the table, and the melee class stay on the ground and handle the floor. Actually, Nez, is there something else you wanted to do on your turn? Hint, hint, wink, wink, say no more.
It's on the email.
Not that one.
And I was
Not
thinking.
that one.
Not that one.
Summon cat.
Someone
Oh,
Summon cat. Cat.
Yeah.
I need the cat. Oh,
It's a group
okay.
name.
It's a group thing.
Then I'll tell.
Okay, so you summon the cat. Brody comes out, comes running through the kitchen, and as Nez is getting hit with the hammer, he's like, "Colin, bust out, bro!" And so Colin throws the catnip over to Nez. Nez hits it like a baseball. The cat. So Brody comes through and
He would, but he's going for if I remember correctly, when Brody moves, he moves to the biggest group, with the biggest group.
well, and when Brody chases, he's going to chase Nez anyway. So he's
Yeah,
going
because the
there.
fish gets.
And he hits everything in the path. So yeah, you don't even want to attempt to fight because it sucks. So that gets Nez the cat tamer.
So we summon him to the catnip.
Yep.
And he
Summon
ran
him
away.
with the spell and then use the catnip to get rid of him. And so now Nez, large enemies roll one less die when defending against. And now it is the
I'm just
roach.
gonna lay on the ground with my hammer.
Yep.
We're gonna have a special moment.
Fan of
Hammer
Nez.
No.
So
Hammer
that
now.
one moves into the space with you. That one also moves into space with you. That one moves over here. That one also moves over here. Thank you. And that one also moves over here.
And now don't you got a little cheese for the 3?
Yes, and then I'll roll the attack heroes. Could you hand me another dice, please? I'm just going to attempt to roll for the 3 of them at the same time. So this is for the roaches on the table. Nothing.
So now if we get the surge, we're just going to move the page marker because Brody's already been.
There's already been a surge on this tile. However, well, you did summon Brody through the scroll, so a surge could still happen. Because that wasn't a surge. That's just what happens when you get a surge. So Brody could come back. So, yes, it's increasing danger. This one's attacking first.
Okay, repair.
He is attacking Lily. No, yes, Lily.
Aaron versus Hector.
So there's one hit.
Nez versus Raul, and then Omar V versus Jeremy.
You roll 2 for defense. Nothing. Actually, Shanann. Roll that one. God! Here! Right here! I'm bringing in a dice tower next time and
Why are you attacking me?
you are forced, you
Over
can only
here.
use the dice
She
tower.
like flips
Okay.
it, and so it goes up in the air and then bounces.
Yeah.
Or she throws it and it does this.
But why is he
Like a
always
shotgun.
attacking me? I said over here for a reason.
Farthest one away.
This is the last time we played this. Or what were we playing?
We were playing this one,
Yeah.
and she rolled it in my lap all the time.
And just like every single time Daniel was getting pelted with dice and he just like
And then later that night too.
and this moves up one because of the cat tamer. So I'm just giving you a hard time.
But I did the last one.
Yes, so you did actually block the hit that the roach had rolled.
Next one attack tilde.
But yes, I may bring in a dice tower in future. Just in case. Alright. No hits from the second one on Filch. The third
I
one.
can't attack filter. It would be
Oh, right.
It would be tilde.
Tilde.
Yes. Tilde.
Then tilde so get the
And
Yeah,
so
get
then
the
the third
roll
one.
for-
yeah for cheese still like
Yes. Then the third one attacks Maganos. Right, you are there?
Yeah.
I double check now. 2 hits. 1 defense.
I like the fact that you're
And then,
sorry, but I'm not into the cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's the roaches. Doesn't the cheese do it? No.
No.
When they do it, that's green.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're not. Only this cheese is going on the wheel.
can never
Then
be
the other two
greedy.
attack now.
Normally they would be greedy roaches,
Right.
but because you have the roach master, they're just regular.
Now the other
But
two attack.
um,
I'm gonna try to look for the dragon release.
no, one will attack Nez, the other will attack Colin because he's adjacent to
They
the
both
space.
in the same spaces, yes?
Yeah, but they wouldn't necessarily attack him because once he's already been attacked,
Oh, right.
unless there is no one else that they can attack.
That's right.
Yeah. So Nez, one hit, one cheese.
Just keep the cheese.
Well,
Oh right, because he hit you.
Not a lot.
And then the second roach is going after Colin. One hit, one cheese.
One
Lock, one cheese.
oh no.
And
Brody's back.
So Brody comes back. He's like, kind of stoned. Comes in through the kitchen door. He's like, he actually spawns just anywhere random because he's gonna be moving. Here's what happens when Brody comes out. Initiative gets reshuffled because Brody has to be in his spot in the initiative order. However, because he's stoned, he will only be pouncing. No. Yeah, because he can't walk straight. He's high on cat. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep the order we had. Because he just kind of hopped. Just don't question me. So there's that. Colin was there.
Yeah.
The roaches were roughly there. Nez. Was it Nez, Tilda?
No, it's Nez, Roaches,
Nez,
Tilda.
Roaches, Tilda, Maganos, and then Brody pounces. So now a surge can't happen. Now it'll just move up the page mark. Shit. Get cheese. So I'll just put him at the end. Because he's high. He's just in there and he's like licking his paws. And he sees the mice and he's kind of like, yeah, he's checking his paw. He's like, if you could understand what Brody was saying, he's like, look at my paw, bro. It's like, it can't move. It's made of stone. Oh my god.
Well, see, he's high. That's why he came back. He wanted munchies.
Yeah.
He wants the roaches.
Let's see. So, who got the surge? It was the roaches attacking Colin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now it moves to Tilda's turn.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
they're
was still a
attacking me
roach's
and they're
turn.
holding.
Oh, okay.
That's why having a lot of roaches
Well, that
sucks.
hasn't.
Now, luckily
So
for
it goes
you,
back down below the roaches then. Is what it does. It goes to Tilda.
yeah.
So now do we need the
Oh, there's the
magnet-
roaches.
magnet thing
Oh,
anymore?
okay, okay.
Yes. Until you get her attention, you have to continue to make that roll. So, Tilda, what are you doing?
Smash the roaches.
Okay, go for it.
Dude, no. One of those. So nothing, but I should get a cheese. Which is good, because I get it.
Yep. Okay. It's your
Like
turn,
move?
right?
Are you gonna move?
No, I think I need to see how
Here's your,
it goes.
here's your take ability.
Oh, right, because you are a melee class. So
Oh,
yeah,
you're
pretty much
giving me another one?
all of the
Just in
melee
case you get
fighters,
healed
or all
by
of the
Brody's
ones that have
back.
ability
Oh,
for
okay.
melee, will probably want to stay on the floor, and all of the rangers will want to jump to the
Well,
beach.
you gave me a
Or you could let Nez hit Brody, because then Brody loses his defense.
Yeah.
Because she's already got the cat type. Yeah, because he's also.
And with my special ability, I can, if she's near Brody, I can give whoever's near her that extra action to attack.
Yeah. Actually, Brody is going to go after Nez anyway. On
Yeah,
this.
because
The problem is that
Wait, I thought that was just Brody.
Oh, right, chases.
Yeah, when Brody chases.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who can make more on 4. Because it just my lore plus that.
Right. Yeah, well, Nez would have 4 as well. I mean, entirely up to you guys.
Actually, it'd be 4 on 3 for
We need to get a handle on
So-
roaches.
Yeah, we really do. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
'cause
much
you don't want.
as
You really don't want this to move up because the more
As
it
much
moves
as
up, the
the-
harder it becomes.
Yeah, as much as the cat is a problem, we should deal with him as much as we need to. But we need to
They
get
don't have cheese back on there.
It's your turn now
we need
then.
to get a handle on the
Yeah.
roaches.
Alright, well I'll hit one of the
No, it could be either fire or
table spin.
or dragon.
Do you move up there?
No, he's
Oh, okay,
He's
never mind.
yeah, he's.
I can be not.
Would you? Are you using your mystic bolt to use your lore?
For the attack more, I think. He did that. Well, but it's yeah, I could do that.
So your lore actually affects your attack.
His special
His
ability.
mystic
My
bolt
mystic bolt gives me
can
4.
spend a cheese, and then instead of using
Oh,
his
okay.
battle value,
I was gonna say,
he
if
uses his
if
lore
sometime you
value.
want to switch out the cloak for the helmet and give yourself another lore.
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah, you guys can, you guys
Actually, he
definitely do that.
Can that be used by the mystic?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I can.
Nice.
And he doesn't
That
have
might be a good idea.
the cloak cover the head too.
That would
No,
make
no.
that would move you up to 5.
He doesn't have to do
Would.
the cloak though.
Yeah, but I like some defense.
You
I know what I'm saying.
Might need that later.
Yeah,
Might need to search that later.
Okay.
For roaches, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm just saying for future use, yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Nice.
Well, I will roll to see.
Yep.
He blocks 1.
That's all we got.
That's all I got. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And it's only if he would be killed.
Yeah.
You make them as many.
I wanted to get the 3 cheese.
So it's Column's turn.
For the cheese master.
And
It
would
is
have
Colin's turn.
And it would have given me 6 cheese.
Alright, enemies. 3. I'm gonna attack one of those roaches right there. 1 hit, 1 cheese.
For a roach. No defense.
Which one did you?
Now make the Ms. Maggie check. Do it, Colin.
We keep rolling the same thing.
I'm laying down.
Who kills one keeps rolling the
And
tubo.
the roach that you attacked.
It
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't
He doesn't
matter.
die. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't there.
And now, did you already move?
Yep, and
No,
he didn't- he didn't move.
I can't. Oh yeah, I can move using leg movement.
just move back up. So, just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
Oh, is it before?
That's what I thought it was.
Oh no, I moved.
When Brody pounces,
I guess you could do that instead of standing up.
I make 1 single attack. He attacks everybody in that space, and you all have to defend it separately.
Yeah, I should.
So, Brody goes.
When he goes me,
Yeah, I thought because of the fish.
Fish get,
scale,
no,
he
it's only
goes directly.
chases.
Only for chases.
Oh.
So that's how that looks.
But it's adjacent or just in the one spot.
It technically says whichever space has the most figures on it.
No, I'm talking about the attack because he would be attacking the roaches too if they're adjacent.
Yeah, if they were in the same
Okay.
space with you, yes. And technically, there are more spaces on the table, or more pieces on, well, it's equal mice and roaches for pieces on a space.
Yeah.
But he attempts to attack whoever's card is highest on the initiative order,
Which would be.
which is Lily, so that's why he moved to you guys and not onto the table attacking the roaches. So, his battle is 3.
So if one more goes in there, he can attack.
That's when, yeah, he'll jump up there and attack everything on the table. So, as an idea, Brody can also be helpful. Well, I make 1 attack.
Because everyone in space, I think.
Nothing.
Nothing in a cheat.
So it doesn't matter.
Well,
So
everybody
he
can
just
roll
kinda
defense.
like,
Everybody can roll
Wait,
for
isn't
cheese.
It's just
the
like
rule for
standing over
Brody,
you.
he doesn't put cheese on the wheel?
It doesn't necessarily say that he doesn't. I'm assuming he still would. Because it's
Because he's
something
attacking the
that you
chicken
can
as well,
attempt.
that's what I thought I read.
Yeah, so he should.
Yeah,
They shouldn't get cheese
Sure.
for attacking themselves.
I'll allow it.
So do we now all roll just to see if we get cheese?
Yes, now you all roll defense.
Everyone that was on the.
So everyone that is on that space. So Lily, Tilda, Maganos, and Colin.
Nobody gets
Nobody.
Nobody got cheese.
Alright. So that moves it to Lily. What would you like to do?
Shoot some roaches.
kill some roaches up here.
Yeah, I'm
Or we can wait and try to get roaching them.
Yeah, but that's 4 dice he gets to roll to see if they get the cheese.
This is true. The roaches will have turned before that.
And we may not actually get to kill them because of
Or
Now, even
however,
if
what
they
we
do
can do
eat all the
is
cheese,
have Lily move
Remember, all
with
it's going to do is
Filch.
just move that up.
This way, there's
Yeah,
only
that's
3
the
on
way
that
Paige
space, and he would go to the
I don't like
roaches. Oh, but it'll be too late because the roaches will move into our space.
Yeah.
It's not.
Just shoot.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
two cheese.
I did give you 2 cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used it to level up.
So you were shooting one of the roaches.
Yeah, I tried.
And he gets a cheese. A lot of that going around.
Cheese fest.
Yep. Are you gonna move at all, Lily, or get out of the space with Rory?
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of space.
2 plus 2. So you have movement. Remember, you're an archer. You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can even go up onto the table.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, because it's.
She can shoot up there anyway. There's no point for her to be up there.
And now there are more figures on the table
Yeah.
than there are on the floor. So when Brody
That's what
comes
we
up,
want. That's
he's.
why I.
Okay, so I shouldn't shoot up the table?
We should kill roaches.
I think you should.
We need to kill
Because
roaches.
even if you kill it, you may not actually kill it, remember? So.
Okay, so I'll shoot a roach on the table then.
Okay.
Nothing. I'm good.
Plus, we're all probably going to scatter from that spot, so.
That means that it is. Are you going to move it all, Phil? So Nez. Nez uses all of his movement to stand up, and I'm guessing you're swinging at a roach. Or are you swinging at Brody?
Yeah, she can't move.
I think you should swing it over to it.
Okay, I'll hit Brody.
Okay.
And she
So
only has
he has 4 defense,
No, 3.
but 3 versus Nez.
Yeah.
Man, that was awesome.
You get a cheese.
That was
That's what
what
he
the
needed.
archer
He needed
needed.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I needed.
Nez, you could move into the space with your fellow mice right now and use your protect.
No,
I can't move.
she
my
can't
cheese.
move. She used all her move to get
Oh,
back
right. That's right.
Or I would have done that first.
Okay, roaches.
she could cast it and someone can move in with it.
Okay, so I will take 4 dice to roll all possible cheese for the roaches on the table.
1.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. Then I will roll attack for each of the roaches. So the first one, Okel, attacking. Sure. Well, let's start with one attacking. Let's see, Nez, your highest. Yeah, so we'll start with the one attacking Nez. 2 hits. Which he steals because of the 2 hits, and then steals another one.
Good thing I have cheese.
Then
Right?
Yeah.
the next roach is going to attack
Nez.
Tilda.
Nez just got attacked.
Right.
Nez just got
This one attacked this one, so now
It's-
this one's going to attack.
he's already
Alright,
been attacked
He's
this
in- I
turn.
forgot that one's still in. That's where.
But Nez has now been attacked this turn,
Right.
so if
I
it
kept
can
thinking
attack
that one was
somebody.
over there.
Oh.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah, it'd be.
Filch?
No, I'm over here.
So Phil's just hanging out with the
So
fishes.
one
Tilda,
of these 3.
basically
Tilda.
Tilda,
Yeah.
Maganos, and Colin are all going to be attacked, and yeah, so each of the 4 of you is going to be attacked.
Tilda first.
2 hits,
Now you're rolling again.
right?
Nothing.
All right,
Cheese
so
I gave you.
both of the cheese, both of them.
Oh, both.
It's
Yeah.
2 hits. Then, thank you. 2 hits.
Two
Two
cheese.
cheese.
4 cheese. No, yeah, 2.
Yeah.
So just keep.
Well, you get 2 cheese per cheese, though.
No, that's only when I'm attacking.
No, I think it's anytime you get cheese.
When attacking, Maganos
Oh,
receives 2
I thought it was
cheese.
anytime you get cheese.
So you get 2 cheese, I get to eat.
You know what? I house rule it. Get 2 cheese. How about that for rules? And then 1 hit.
And nothing. Man, we suck.
Go team!
We weren't hungry anyway. That's okay.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Then it moves to Tilda's turn. Is anybody wounded?
No.
No, not.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you guys
Well,
are
That's a
poisoned.
good thing.
Yeah. But does that count as a wound? Like, do I get an extra attack?
No, your mace doesn't count if you're wounded, only,
I don't want to do that.
yeah,
I'm
move
gonna
to like
move
the
out of
mop
that
or
space
something.
anyway. I'm gonna move out of that space anyway.
Yeah.
Well, not before
You
Brody.
can't. because there are 2 minions there. There needs to be an equal number of mice and minions.
Yeah, you can't.
So you're stuck there.
Which is why I was going to move it, but then I remembered it's 4 roaches up there.
Yeah. So, but Tilda, you can still attempt to kill one of the roaches, so that Nez could attempt to move it. Alright, so roach rolls no defense.
1 and then cheese.
Alright, so you get a cheese on one of the roaches, and now do the Ms. Maggie check.
Please. Oh!
Alright.
Hold on.
And then that goes up on the table.
The bow's not.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it's a
50%
50-50.
odds.
50% off.
And we are not
statistically-
doing very well. Statistically, we
So
we should
you've almost killed 3 roaches. Statistically speaking, you've got to get a star on this next roll.
Not necessarily. That's the game as well. Alright, so now it's So, I still hit 1 on
Okay. Rolls no defense. Now make the Ms. Maggie check.
Nope.
For the love of
Maggie's doing more damage.
Alright, so you get knocked down. And whichever... Oh no, you were shooting at one on the table.
Should have probably moved that right. Well, no, because there's only 2 of us there. So
Because Brody's got a pounce, so he's going to move from there.
And you can use all your
you can use your movement to stand up.
Yeah, you do still have movement. That makes it...
Wait, didn't I get... Oh no,
That was for the
was
Maggie
Maggie.
check.
This must be a really bad day for Maggie.
Yeah, she but
Roaches,
she
mice,
is like,
cats.
her batting average is amazing.
She was just trying to cut cheese.
I don't know if I've ever used Colin, take it away. What
So
should I
do
do?
I want to give Ned the chance to try to kill that roach, or do I want to give an archer a chance to kill some of those on the table? Either way, there's still going to be 4.
The cat's definitely going on the table.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you give her...
And the cat's going to be helping you with that.
Yeah, so I think I'll give it to you to try to kill that.
Kill a roach.
We won't disappoint you, boss. Good
4
end.
hits.
Now
Alright,
you roll.
Maggie check.
Maggie check.
Are you kidding me?
We should go to Vegas.
And then
Actually,
it
if
goes
we
up
go
on the
to
table.
Vegas, we probably start making money.
Yeah, we're beating the odds. The odds are we lose in Vegas, so since we're beating the odds.
Right.
Right?
So I
That's how
cannot
that works.
move, but I can still attack one of those roaches.
Well, you didn't...
No, that was a free...
Oh, right, Nez can't stand up, but...
That was...
So now it's Colin.
For me,
You
to give...
can't move.
Yeah,
Right,
give order.
yeah.
I
That's my
can't.
movement.
Oh yeah.
No.
Because it's not my turn.
2 hits.
2 hits versus Roach. No defense. Maggie check. Please roll.
Yes!
Thank you.
We finally killed one.
Tired of the roaches being alive.
So now I don't have to roll that.
Yes. So you have the party achievement, and this carries over every chapter. So any future time you encounter Ms. Maggie, you don't have to make that check ever again.
Did that move up to the page thing too?
Yes, actually it moves up the end marker.
We're at the top.
I basically continue it until it can hit there.
So it's
So then it becomes the end.
And now it's for JD, so he goes up there.
Yes. So if you would move him up there, please.
Do you want me to roll for...
Now he's got the munchies.
Right? Five for the...
So there's Brody's attack.
It's 1?
Yep, it's once. I'm just gonna roll 3 dice twice. First 3 roaches, no defense. Next 3 roaches, 1.
Oh.
And one of them did get a cheese. Or did I roll 2 cheese?
2 of them actually did.
So,
Yeah.
2 cheese defenses. Well, that was quick. Remember how y'all were worried about the roaches?
That's what we needed. That's what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Well, since we couldn't kill him, at least Brody did.
So it actually worked out though that Ms. Maggie was hitting them all up onto the table for you. So you can thank her for the death
we
of
were
the roaches.
killing roaches, we just weren't finishing them off. So
Yeah.
now we don't. Brody was like, screw it.
And now it is Lily. There are 2 roaches left and Brody. Remember that you have some abilities that can help you. Oh wait, no, you didn't take the aim shot.
So I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to go off that one right
Okay.
there.
You're pushing it, man.
Nope.
Defense. Defended anyway. Filch.
Shoot her!
Nope.
Jeez.
Is it really good?
You know what's cool about your bow is if you get the one with the star, you turn it into
Yeah, but I actually had to roll a hit. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. You can.
Roach can roll defense.
Where are you at? Are you the one that fucked out? I'm over here, nothing. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Then
It's me. Gotta stand up.
it is Nez. Nez, I'm assuming will use movement to stand.
Yep.
You guys
That's
have
all.
surge?
And then you can surge. Yeah, that's how you get there.
But it's a surge roll. Then it is the roach. So roach eating cheese. Nothing. Roach on the floor is going to attack.
I'm assuming he moves in, right?
Yeah, he moves in, and then
Wouldn't he attack Matilda?
no, because Magnos is actually
Magnus.
Oh, Magnus. Magnus.
Yeah.
I'm over here. Yeah.
She's like
You're
hanging
higher
out in the
than
mosh.
I was forgetting where who was there.
You're not counting them up.
and so that ends the roach's turn. Now it is Tilda. Tilda using her movement to stand.
Is that a
You can, yes, this is adjacent, so you can potentially kill him. Yes,
Thank you.
you can basically kill him. Okay, one hit, one defense. Magnos. Alright. 2. Well done. Dead roach, but he does get no, it's not from the table because it was a defense roll. Yes, the one on the table. Calling. Trying to kill the last roach.
Where's the way? Oh, he's in my space.
Yeah.
Give me
One more. No defense.
One hit.
Dead roach. Alright.
And then I'm going to. Oh, how's that going to work now that we all scrambled?
He's actually going to Magnos and call it space because you have.
But I can still move out.
That's what he was
Basically,
asking for all at once.
Brody will move to the space that has the most fingers, or if there are spaces with Palma, he moves to the one with the highest initiative. So he's going to run for Lily.
You want to tag team Brody there, Nez?
So if you move into Nez's space, then Brody will jump on your space. Alright, and then it is Brody. So Brody's going to pounce onto that space. Y'all don't forget
Filch,
to
make sure you pick the filter. Make sure you pick up the grappling hook. Yeah.
But first, Filch, I will tell you now that the cheese is free, if you run up there, you can grab onto that.
Make sure somebody picks it up.
Oh wait, what am I?
Yeah, good. Because you can shoot now, so you can go up there and grab him.
One hit. So roll defense, both of you. 2 cheese. And you get a wound.
Not very helpful. Looks like I'll be following you around.
No block.
Offense.
And you around. I'm totally hopping in there with you guys.
It was only 1 hit, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. And so now it's Lily's turn.
Shoot her!
Or you could use your keen eye and search.
How many times are you gonna get broken?
3. He's only got 1 hit.
Oh, yeah.
The spider has 3, and then the centipede has 4.
He has 4.
4 defense.
Yeah.
3 for you.
Oh, we have to hit.
Well,
Yeah, but you only need to hit
Tilda's.
him once.
I think
Yeah,
you're-
you can search if you want and get something on. That's a good idea.
Might as well.
Still need stuff, so. I'm gonna use my keen eye because if they don't play, I can't search with them. Yeah, oh gee, really?
You found the dinner fork. Party item.
Nice.
Can be used to spring mouse traps or also as a catapult for grapes.
People like grapes.
you like grapes. This is what I hear.
Heard that too.
Then it is Filch.
Okay, so just
Oh,
picking
you
up
do still have movement.
Oh,
So you can like can attempt to scurry up the rope and get some cheese.
Or just move there, so that we're ready to. Oh, you are already there. Just.
Yeah.
Wait, no, don't we have
No,
to?
it's.
Oh, no,
you have to
here.
go
yeah.
back to,
Where Maganos is just like, do.
Yep.
So that was a thing.
And you did search it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So is yours same space or?
Oh, it's
Yeah, same space.
No, I think
this
it's fine there.
Yeah. Does it seem the same space or is it adjacent? Because you can
Alright,
same
totally.
space.
see
Okay,
it.
so 15 feet free action. And I'm
Yes.
thinking, go up there, I need to grab all that. I forgot what it said. I think this one
Is your action?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't
Yours
shoot it,
grab
just other mice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll use grappling
I
it.
guess-
It just says for each wounded mouse at the same time.
you can
yeah.
stand
You
there,
have. You also have enough to level up now, which is also great.
Probably.
So you could get a damage ability as
I think I
well.
will do that.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, that actually needed to be removed. Meeps. Because he doesn't come in until later. There's a dodge. Basically, you can spend one cheese to move the mouse 2 spaces after an
If I
attack.
have to cry.
So you can like run in, stab, run out.
It was shoulder to cry. Who knows my pain?
Energy Rush, 2 cheese. You may use this ability after taking an action with this mouse. Take an additional action with this mouse.
I'm a little worried. Not to tell you the truth. I have to
Knife
go.
Strike, which was the one I was telling you about. 2 cheese. You can
Yeah, I've heard it.
basically make 1 attack for each knife or dagger that you have equipped.
What was it called?
And that's it.
Ninja Turtles?
Oh, probably. Go ahead and give me energy rush.
Only Ninja Turtle game I have is Turtles in Time. That was a reboot.
Yeah.
An old game that I used to play in the arcade.
Yeah, the meat
Also
actually
on Super
doesn't come in
Nintendo.
until...
Also on the Super.
Yeah, also on Super, yeah.
Look for the newest one, and it's. I've
Then you
heard
get
good things about it, and you can play like 4-player co-op. I think. So get it.
Oakley Dokley. So it is Nez.
Yeah.
Don't only,
What's it
oh,
called?
it's on Xbox only though?
I thought so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
See, I only have a PS3.
I'm gonna use my cheese and
I got annoyed with Microsoft, so I sold my
Okay.
Xbox.
So Colin as protected.
Yeah, that space is.
And when I move in?
Yeah. Is everybody on my space?
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
4 hits.
Take that!
So I need 3. No defense. That is 1 dead kitty.
He just.
It's hurt.
Yeah. So you had
He's all stoned and we're over here smacking him with a hammer.
Yep.
well
Mini
see
hammer.
He's like,
remember
what is that? What is this?
Nez
Come here, really? Boom!
Nez hit the catnip with his hammer. So he still had some on there. That's why Brody pounced back to you after he got some food. And he was just like, nice kitty. Nice dog. And just took like a little pinch he found off. He was like, fetch. Brody. And then everyone was like, quick, down the hole. And
It's
so,
getting bigger. And then it hit.
oh wait,
Yeah, exactly.
you guys can still do some searching here. I was just gonna move you through.
Oh.
I can't do anything.
So-
Do you want to search?
I let him go
Yes.
first, and I had this one. I had
Try.
to stealth
Who's
and
last?
I did
Colin.
not gonna search all his spells
Yeah.
around it.
Nothing. All right,
Ooh, I can search and
Magados.
use my thing instead of moving to let Magados explore.
That's true. Because I'm on the top.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
And what did you find? The coin shield, which can only be used by a warrior. When defending against a ranged attack, if you roll any shield, sword, stars, you ignore all hits from that attack. And it can only be used by a warrior, so it has to go to
You have an
Nez
extra
or
hand?
Colin. And actually, because
Yeah, I
you're
have an
adjacent,
extra
you
hand.
can give it to one of them.
You could give it to Colin because he has an extra hand.
Nice, so Colin is now fully equipped.
Yep.
Which is good because you didn't get you don't get a defense bonus from your helmet. So
Yeah.
now you have one from the shield.
So I think I'm going to explore.
You mean
Or I mean, search.
Search.
You got it.
Got it.
Success. You got a trick. Intense Cowering. You play this card when this mouse is selected by a minion as the target of an attack. That minion cannot attack this mouse during this turn, and if possible, must choose a new target. tricks do not take up pack space as well. So,
And then I'm going to use my cheese to let him action Magnus.
okay.
Do it.
And so in the interest of time, you go back through the hole, you go through the tunnels, and just kind of climb down
Now,
through there, and you wind up.
Roger clear, Kyle.
Now.
You get another.
when you flip it back over, do you normally have to do another encounter?
No.
No, because we already cleared it.
Only when you
Just
first
through
explore a
it.
title. Yeah. Basically, it becomes a race against time to try and get through and move along. But in the interest of time, I usually just skip it ahead.
So she gets a cheese, right? Two cheese. Now she gets 2 cheese. Oh, 2.
Yeah. For unexplored. And then the encounter. 5 greedy roaches, so just regular roaches. So welcome to the roach chapter.
Apparently.
All roaches
Man, this
all the
place
time.
is just
It's
swarming
really
with
good.
roaches.
Yeah, it's really good we got that achievement then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a very good investment for you guys.
What's the encounter?
It is just a standard 5 greedy roaches. Surge's centipede.
It's
One
one
away.
page 1.
Yeah.
We could have just gotten
And you
rid of
do
it.
have 5 cheese on the wheel.
Yeah, we're probably fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did good
Well,
graphics
just
and
keep
stuff.
in mind who
Yeah.
cannot be stunned, and we're gonna fight the centipede.
So
You
basically,
call it
Yeah,
and then-
yeah. Chill out. Hang
Well,
out.
and I could. We
And we
could
need
all fight
Tilda
the
to come with
centipede
us
together.
in case
Just-
I need to be killed.
Well, I'm gonna follow you guys anyway. So
And
get some
Tilda's the
extra
healer,
attacks.
so, you know, if anyone gets injured, then she can help. Oh, wait, Nez, you are.
yeah, both of
Yeah,
us
we're
are.
both injured.
I'm gonna be following you.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
way we can give him cheese. This way, if I take another road or she takes.
And Tilda also gets a battle and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if we both take an injury,
Yeah.
she can use the major heal, just heal 1 each, and still have the wounds in.
So get the bone.
I mean, we won't
So,
die on one.
Colin, you are first. Nez, second. Filch, third.
Kind of want cheese.
Lily. Tilda, are you friggin' kidding me again? Magnus,
So when you get cheese on that?
You had a really
Roaches
good
last.
The only way I get cheese
I know,
is if, say,
but
if Nez
that's
was ahead of me.
forever.
If I'm not first on the initiative track, I get cheese no matter what.
Do you know how long it took you guys to not kill anything?
So basically, now everybody move and kill the.
I didn't even have anything to do with that. That wasn't even my fault. I was just like, so that's a lot of roaches.
Yep.
All right. So
You follow
Colin.
wherever you go.
Yeah, we'll go to the.
You guys go down.
You guys go that way. I'll go this way.
Yeah. They go over there. We'll shoot those.
So
Okay.
here's my question
Deal.
though. When the search, if the search happens and the centipede comes on, where's it gonna go?
It tries
It'll
to
go
move as
there.
close as possible.
It can't go here.
Well, it depends on which minion spawn point is open and which one is closest to the most ones. Because large figures always try to spawn next to
Tilda's coming with us too.
So that's gonna be 3 in one space.
3, and you guys.
So
can
you're
shoot.
preemptive shooting.
Yep.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot this one right over here.
All right.
Whoops.
You
Nothing.
do get a cheese there. What?
Tried to kill him with
Are you
the
sure? I think the dice killed
It got first by a boulder.
The boulder.
First by
The boulder doesn't like miniatures.
And next.
Which way do you want to go?
I think we should
Go to the
big group.
Okay.
I'm left with my boulder.
So we have 5.
Are you on Imgur at all?
No. But I want, I know.
Oh, you talking about the...
All y'all
The Rock,
jabronis.
Dwayne
The Rock
Rock Johnson.
No. There's a guy whose username is
Yeah,
the
the
Boulder, and he always comments on every image in that character.
I would if I named my character the boulder.
I need 3.
You know, it's from the Avatar.
I know, I watch
I figured
that.
that.
I got that.
Yeah. I figured you knew what it was, but
Oh, he's attacking
You got one.
roach.
it's one of our favorite obscure robots.
Shenanigans.
Cheese.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yep. Okay, nothing. Roach dead.
Did you move in or just sort of?
showed
And
it.
now it
I'm gonna
is
move. I can't move.
Because
Nez.
I don't want to block that place to be.
Because I only get my hammer.
Oh, well, yeah.
Nez,
So
you're up.
if we want to be on the same place,
Roll.
You're up.
then we can't.
What's going on there?
Nothing. I have nothing.
Magnus, you're so handsy.
I get
Okay.
cheese. No,
No, not from the...
Search. Yep.
All right. So place your search marker. You found a warding staff. It is a blunt staff. It has 1 to defense. It can be used by a mystic or a healer.
You come over here.
Yeah, so that's actually good. Yeah, that'll give Tilda a bonus.
Yeah, because I don't need the +1.
It'll give you a bonus to attack and a bonus to defense.
What? Yeah, no, that's fine.
But switch it out.
Yeah.
The mace is something you would only equip when there are injured marks on your space.
Yep. Filch. Shoot one of those.
That's the plan.
3.
Nope.
And
And you're really good at rolling.
you still have movement, if you'd like.
Are you going to run the defense?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd probably just stay there.
Yeah, I'm going to just stay there.
okay. Lily. I will roll defense. Nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna try to shoot one of these over here.
Okay. Hands at the ready. One hit, dead roach. Alright. And that moves it to Tilda. That's going to become a running joke for this series now. Hands at the ready. I can already see it.
It's your fault. I thought you were going to look up back.
Yo, I'm doing laundry right now. You know how there's laundry right down the road?
2 +1.
You can also take the warding staff.
From adjacent spaces? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sharing is same or
I'm
adjacent.
injured, so you can take the...
Yeah, I'm going to use the extra roll.
And then you can equip and unequip as a free action.
Okay.
Like if you want to attack and then unequip the mace and then equip the staff after the attack.
Or whatever.
Because that gives you +1.
No defense.
Right, yeah.
Alright. So then you equip, unequip,
Yep.
switch them out. So that you'll have the defense bonus from the staff as well. Alright, and then it's Maganos. Make an ranged attack. 1 hit. I need a... No defense. Dead roach.
See, we're doing much better on this time.
Yes. Now you're doing better. I'm proud of you. As your dungeon master, I feel pride as a major action. 1 hit for Colin. You get 3 defense.
Yeah, I have 3 defense now. I was like, wait a
You
minute.
forgot.
1 block.
Nice.
Alright. And that moves it to Colin.
Someone needs to move here.
Yeah. Because you guys are going to need to
There's
explore.
3 over there.
That was the road.
That was the
That
road.
was Rush because he was in the...
Someone who's there needs to move here.
But the thing is, Colin can't move into the space with the roach and move out. Because the moment he moves into that space, his movement would end.
I know.
But somebody has to get over there because you guys are getting dangerously
Well,
close.
I like this. It's going to have to be
Filling the
Tilda.
wheel.
Because she's got the most speed.
Yeah.
As soon as the
You
roach
kill
is
that roach,
dead,
you don't have to
You're first. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
first. So move in, try to kill it, and then we try to get them.
Right, because if he moves, someone
Yeah.
can move through it because they're reaching.
so move into the space and try and kill.
2 hits.
Or
Okay.
just do that.
That'll kill it. That'll kill it. But
Still need to roll for
Yeah.
cheese.
But the cheese already...
So it's just
So, and now you can do movement.
So just try to get here.
3 + 2 is 5.
Anybody want to search while we're...
The only thing is if we don't get there before, or don't explore by Maganos, we get the surge.
Magnus.
No, you don't know. Yeah, Magnus has to make it.
And it's Nez up next.
Well, that means one
You
somebody
could
has
attempt to
be-
try and get that. No, because even at your max movement, you'll still only be able to get 4 for Nez healing.
I already
is not 4.
searched too.
Yeah.
Just move up
Just
there.
kind of move like right here. Just one of the kids go around my back.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Knee?
Oh.
Yeah.
I forget that I have another one.
So I'm confused.
And then
We're just preparing
trying to
in case
explore
of
so
the
that
centipede.
you don't get a centipede.
What
Filch, yeah.
Me.
Basically, this
I can't get there.
Tilda might be able to.
Five.
I
Right?
maybe.
1, 2,
I have to roll
3,
this, though.
4,
So,
5.
so what I do is shoot
So,
Magnus
yeah.
so he takes damage.
There you go.
Let's test out your cloak.
All right, Filch, you gonna search or?
I might as well. I don't have anything better to do.
Nobody else can get
All right.
They're too far. Only Tilda.
What did you find?
I found the cheese cache.
Nice.
Everybody
So,
everybody on my
Yep.
right here gets a
Play
cheese.
immediately. Each mouse on the same tile, not space.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Tile. Each mouse on the same tile
What are
as
you,
this
Oprah?
mouse
You get a
that drew
cheese.
this card.
You
receives
get a
a
cheese.
All right, so everybody gets a cheese. Cheese.
Cheese!
All right. And then it is Lily.
Might as well start.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna move.
Would you like to key nine
Maybe,
first?
yeah, I was like, say,
Yeah.
You just got a cheese after all.
And then it was successful.
Yeah, now that I'm
Take
doing
that con.
canines, I'm getting all those.
You got the heal all scroll, so you do have 2 healers now. However, you can't use that because your Laura's not here.
But I can't.
She can give it to Magnus.
And
It's probably
no,
better
there
than-
isn't. The Lord's only one.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's
Oh,
that.
2.
Yeah.
Everyone has two except for Lily.
Well,
So,
you
yeah,
have an
get
item
one,
helping
right?
you. Yeah.
Hey, I still have 2.
Thank you.
All right, and that moves us to Tilda.
Go!
3.
Woo!
Got it.
Got it.
Nice. So you move and explore. All right. So as you break through the light, Lily has been guiding you the whole way. She says, "Come with me. My home is not far from here." And you come out into this courtyard, and she says, "Watch out for the old crow. He's very mean and very angry." And you see this crow with like a scar down its eye, kind of sitting on this wall, perched and looking around at you. There is a special bit about this. So, anytime you move, if you roll a 1, you immediately take an unblockable hit from the crow. In addition to that, in order to end the chapter, you have to move into the tree. You can only move into the tree from this space. If you are in the tree, you can only see this space. If you are here, you can see everything, but once you're in the tree, you can only see that space right there, just for archery purposes. So the encounter is, we're on page 2.
Yep.
1 elite rat and 2 rats. The surge is a centipede. Would you like to use the disguises to end it immediately?
Yep.
Alright.
Might as well.
But that still stays out.
We might still have to have a centipede.
You might still have to search. So book it for the tree, you guys.
Is now. Do we all have to make it to the tree? Do we all have to make it to the tree?
Everybody has to get into the tree.
So,
Yeah. Well, and elite rats are annoying because they're archers. So they don't move, they just shoot you.
not in first turn, that's what I was thinking.
So we're gonna get the surge regardless.
I think we should have
Right,
our
but now we don't
archers-
have to deal with
any-
rats
all of
now.
our ranged people should stop here.
Yeah.
And then we'll just try to get
And then
into.
search. Oh yeah, everyone remove search markers.
You could actually all stop at the tree space.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it would eventually just move there. And we would just all be attacking it.
Because remember, the enemies will come to you. And when they roll 1s, they also take damage.
Right.
So, Colin, you're first. Magnos, Tilda, Nez, Lily, Filch.
Either I'm first or I'm not first. I get my cheese, but I'm all the way to the end.
And as Ricky Bobby once said, you're not first, you're last.
It is often true.
So roll your movement.
Keep that out.
2, 4, 4. So just book it to the tree.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I guess since I'm right there, I'll surge.
Okay. Nothing. All right, Magnos.
Ooh.
So immediately
That's a
take the
wound. But you still get to move. So, 3.
Is that heal all for everyone on the fire?
No, it's for 1 mouse, and it's to heal them of all of the ailments they have.
Right.
So it's the only way to heal poison at this point.
Yeah, search.
Which is good because, oh no, centipede's stunned.
There you go. The spiders.
Hey, I got the
poison,
great.
I think.
Nice. Which can be launched from the fork.
Do we have a
What is
fork
the
to
grape
launch?
seed?
Yes, you do.
Like a fork.
No, this isn't Carcassonne. We don't have a popsicle stick catapult.
Alright, Tilda.
What is the grape game?
The grape, basically it can be used to fire at something, and in addition, in the case of roaches, it can be used as bait, and they'll go after the grape rather
And if
than...
they end their turn on the grape, they're gone.
Yeah.
That's good when we have like massive amount.
I can move up like 5 before,
Yeah.
so before we found it.
Yeah.
You want to go to the
Actually, put me on the dark.
You should hang out with me in the same space this way. You can use your hammer.
Yeah. Well, you said there now too. I can hang out. I have a minimum of 2 movements, so I'll make it.
Yeah.
From this
Get
way,
as
I can-
close to the tree as you can.
I mean, that puts you right
Because
next to
everyone
the
else
tree.
is going to be moving towards the tree too, so...
I think we want the highest
Nez.
concentration one. They're all gonna, it's all going to go towards us.
Yeah, just put me right in front of it. Yeah. Because that way then you can just...
So I'll text you. Text me your phone.
Alright, Nez.
Like maybe a family restaurant.
slow one. Oh god, I didn't get it to one.
Wait, why did you put your thing?
Let's play search. Remember, that's why I'm great.
Oh, right.
I don't know
Sorry,
how
I'm
to
tired.
move because I don't know how.
Those are not actually adjacent.
Yes.
So that's there.
How many?
You could, yeah, you could use levitate on
You,
her.
you can get the magnet, but you can't get up there. Yeah, you
can
can
get
get
there.
there.
For one.
1, 2, 3, 3. That's almost.
Oh.
That's 4.
No, it's not. That's why I said, is this adjacent?
No, no.
Okay.
No, yeah. The way to determine,
But it won't
place your
matter.
figure on a space, and if it reaches the other space, it's adjacent.
If I use this, it won't matter.
You know, if you want to use the levitate spell, I'll just let you guys move ahead and finish the chapter.
Nah, let's risk it. Yeah. I'm down for risking it.
Naz, are you searching?
Yes.
Okay. You find what?
Scorching wand. Another wand. When attacking with this wand, instead of rolling a number of dice equal to his mouse's battle, roll a number of dice equal to its
That's
roll.
good for me.
Yeah. So,
Hey, you're at the same
we're at the
square
same
as
space, so I'll just get it. If there's anything I can...
No. All of his stuff is not usable by you.
Yeah.
The only thing he had that was usable by you was the coin shield.
Yeah.
Now to call it.
Yeah, but I can use it in my next one.
Alrighty, Lily.
Oh, give me good movement, give me good movement.
Hands at the ready. 2, 4.
No, those are all the 2
You
can
can move into the space with Colin there.
Okay.
And are you searching?
Yes.
Keen eyeing.
Yes.
And you roll more.
Exactly. Really?
Oh, it's a treachery. Stolen cheese. Play immediately. If there is a scamp in the party, remove 2 cheese from this mouse's stash. This one. Unless this mouse is the scamp, in that case, add 2 cheese to this mouse's stash.
So you're stealing from Bully.
You stole Lily's cheese.
Does he get it?
No.
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 That was just.
But if he pulled the
drew it,
card,
yeah,
he
if
would've
drew
got
it, he would have got the cheese bar. I didn't think.
Okay.
Alrighty. Filch.
Ah.
He got the fumble.
And you move 4.
You get the 1,
so you can get.
Yep.
Hang out with Maganos
And you
and...
have 4 spots. You can go.
There.
Well,
Actually,
he can go 4,
can
so
go
he could
there.
go next to Colin and
Yeah.
Lily.
Yeah, there. And basically, if we're standing in the tree, we can't get hit by them.
Yes. Once. That's the other thing I forgot to mention is once you are in the tree, you are safe from the crow. Alrighty. So the closest spot is actually going to be no.
There.
Well, there's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 3.
No, because a large character would go 1, 2, and there.
So there.
But when you go to the highest concentration,
Yeah, when you be close to
there's 3 spaces either way, but when you go to...
It's just closest. Well, yeah.
Which is why I wanted to sit where you get all that out of the way.
Alright. Cave Centipede comes out. Surge happened. This moves up.
He's got how many?
Centipede?
4.
For legal purposes, no one else on the rest of it.
They have a cave centipede.
But he only has two defense.
I
If
appreciate
Nez attacks it, he only
Colin,
has 1.
you are up.
Oh yeah, because he's higher. No, only if you're higher.
Colin, so he just basically all the
Nobody
melee,
wants-
Oh yeah, you are.
melee people move here.
Nobody wants to launch the grape.
We can save that for other because the archers can shoot the thing.
So can we have
The
all
melee people
melee,
just stay there.
all archers move here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
but
archers move here and melee people
Melee
get
people
there.
will be like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, deal.
So
Colin's up,
Colin just search and
If you
stay.
want, you could be melee.
I could go
Because
either
you are
way.
rolling-
Either way, it's like
Well, and
Well,
he
you
does
give a-
get that dagger bonus
Right.
from the defense.
So he
Yeah,
can
when-
so
oh,
he
it
can
is my
shoot.
turn.
He,
That one of the
yeah.
archers shoot.
So
Which the cave centipede's defense would only be 1 against you.
I would say you go melee.
So
you can actually use it on
And I got
me, and
energy
I can
rush too,
use
so I can attack
this
twice if I don't kill
and
it.
hit it with 4.
yeah. I'm gonna use my
Give
give order.
order.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
moving, so stay right there. And let
Where
Maganos.
you- Okay. You're using Mystic Bolt?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Roll 4. Are you using the Scorching Wand or your staff?
Laser with that. So I get 4.
Nice. I need another dice, please. Thank you. No defense. That's a hit.
That's 3 hits.
That's 3 hits.
So we only need one more hit on it.
Uh-huh.
I did good on this time and last time.
Now, why would you say that? You would know better than to tempt fate.
No,
All right,
she doesn't.
Megan.
Come at me.
Well, actually,
so,
I could
yeah, you
surge
still
if
have.
I wanted to.
Mhm.
Give me 1 second.
Yep, got it.
Nice. Let's see here. Ooh!
Uh-oh.
Treachery. Play immediately. This mouse becomes captured and can only be rescued by a fellow mouse when a fellow mouse makes a successful search action. You got abducted.
Well, it can't be made.
Should have paid your debt.
All right,
He didn't pay his debts.
Maganos. So if you search,
I can't.
but you can perform a search action to try to save you.
Yeah,
But that also uses your attack.
well, yeah.
But he can move back there
I
with Hilda.
can, I can just move into the tree.
Well,
Just
you,
move here.
Move there so you can still shoot in case
Yeah.
we need you to.
Well, I can always move out and shoot. It's literally, I don't need to roll.
but you still have to for the crow.
Oh,
when you
because
come
you
out.
move out of the tree. All right, and that brings us to Tilda. What you doing? Search action.
Hanging out? Yeah.
Trying to save Colin.
Yep.
Hey, I'm back.
Huh, what happened? I fell asleep. And you get the clockwork grenade. It's only usable by the Tinkerer, but it's basically a massive,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like, blows up everything in a space.
You can actually.
Yeah.
You could throw it at the centipede.
Oh, yeah.
Nez is up next, so you
You're
can
next
give
up.
it to Nez.
Oh no, you're 2 away. So I
Let
can't.
me. I'm gonna move into this space anyway.
Yeah, everybody get in front of the tree.
I think you should
But
just
now
move back
Nez,
Yeah, everyone get into,
Yeah,
get
just move
here.
back there.
Everybody get here.
yeah,
because
Nez, you can take the
There you go.
grenade from Tilda and use it.
Okay, use it.
Well, don't use it
I don't know
yet,
if we-
because we need everyone to get here before we kill that. So that we
Oh,
all
well,
can
it
move
won't.
in.
It won't matter.
It won't matter.
If we're
I
right
don't-
there, we can move in.
I still don't
They
think
can take the
You can't
cheese.
get another surge anyway. It's
Oh,
pretty
well,
much
that's
over.
I don't think you should use the grenade.
You're only
Yeah,
gonna
don't
get
you-
one.
we
You
don't-
can-
I can just blast it.
Yeah,
keep it.
I
Yeah.
mean. 'cause
Yeah, you can keep it.
it's
You
only
can
one
save it
line.
for the next chapter.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can keep it.
I mean, I can shoot at the thing twice. I think I'm gonna kill it.
And if he gets any
Yeah, because you have to.
I don't kill it.
which we can shuffle.
So I can
Ooh.
search now.
Yeah, you can search.
He can keep it.
Nothing. Lily,
Yay. I'm gonna try to kill it.
hand
You
is
can still,
ready.
you can still move there.
Oh,
She
yeah.
can shoot
Oh,
first.
wait, hands
Yeah.
ready.
First and then.
That is the most contained I've ever seen your dice.
You can
roll.
I know, right?
Yeah,
We start
right?
blocking.
As soon as we start.
He defended anyway. And then it is
Well, she can go now.
movement, right?
Yeah. Just don't roll a 1.
Oh, she rolled a 1.
Sure.
But you do get to move back this time.
And then it is Filch.
Okay, so my first shot.
Nothing.
I seem to be really good at melee when I'm shooting range.
Centipede rolls a cheese. And
I give up 2 cheese for an energy rush.
okay. Giving him another action.
There you go. 2 hits.
Plus
4
we rolled
actually.
4.
One
Oh,
defense.
that's right. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I have
It's 4
I
hits.
have the accurate bow.
The accurate bow, if it rolls a bow star, it's 2 hits.
Oh,
He gets
right.
the stars. So
Yes,
that's
so that is 4. Yeah, he's dead as dicks.
That's
Then
pretty
just roll
good.
to move
Yeah.
into the tree.
Yeah. Oh, I take a wound though.
I'll take another one. But you're in the tree.
I do have enough cheese to deliver some, but
Well, you don't need to because it's the end of the chapter and all
Sure.
wounds are erased.
Yeah.
At the end.
what about?
Nobody will die this turn, right?
So it doesn't matter.
So nobody's gonna die.
Then they get it. They
Yep.
get the cheese.
And Colin.
Call and roll to move into the tree.
I'm in.
All right. And Maganos. And you're in.
He can actually
And Tilda.
die. I'm in though. Oh, did you go walk all the way in?
Yeah,
I
I
thought
shot
you-
the thing and then walked.
I thought you were just in front of him.
No.
Hey, Jack, what did you just say?
I thought you were just inside of the tree.
Did you go all the way in?
Oh.
That's what she said.
I went in.
And then Nez. And finally, wait. Lily says, and this is why this is important. Lily says, "Go on up there. You'll find me, Mom, at the top of the tree. I must be off to venture and find more supplies." And you see Lily scamper off back into the hole. And so you go into the tree. There's a couple of guard mice in there, and they're taking you up, and you hear them kind of grumbling about, "I've seen these mice before. What they think they're doing here?" And you're going up the tree, and you notice there's like this entire city built inside there. With basically it's Lothlorien, but on a miniature scale. You're climbing up this big spiral staircase around the inside of the tree, and you get up to the top, and you meet Lily's mom. And she says, welcome to our village. I wish that we could be in better states around here, but unfortunately we've had a lot of our rangers go out, and many of them haven't returned. They've been out searching for supplies, but so far none of them have come back, including my daughter Lily. To which Maganos says, "Dear woman, we have met your daughter. She helped us to this tree. She just left again for supplies. I told that fool girl not to go back out there, that they've been setting traps like nobody's business, that she was going to get caught one of these days. Would you please do me a favor? Would you go back and get her and tell her to come home? I'm dreaded with fear because I don't believe my daughter shall return if she goes into that cave one more time." And that ends chapter 1. Alright, you guys.
We're the best.
Well,
Except
thank
when
you.
we're dealing with Miss
Hold on
Maggie.
to your cards because I will write everything down. Make sure you note what is in your pack. Remember, you can only keep one item in your pack. You lose tricks. Any equipped items stay. Any achievements stay. Any abilities stay. You lose cheese and wounds. And any extra items that you don't
Everything I have is
like.
equipped.
Yep, me too.
I don't have.
So you have to choose which to keep.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, all my stuff is equipped.
Well, the grenade isn't, but your one item.
Well,
So we have
really
to-
quick, before we decide all of that, no, I'm gonna write it down, so don't worry about it. So really quick, thank you guys for being on the very first episode of Roleplay. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you will be back next week to find out Chapter 2, Lily's Tale. But it's Tail. Tail.
Is there something wrong with it?
Yes, she's stuck in a mousetrap, as Mom feared. Alrighty, So I will now throw it back to the handsome host of Roleplay to send us out. We'll see you next week. Or 2 weeks. That's right. Because we air every other week with Roleplay, whereas Well Played airs every week. So we will see you in 2 weeks.
Alright, so there you have it. That was Chapter 1 of Mice and Mystics on Roleplay. So I've got some of our players here. We have Rachel, who played,
Lily.
and James, who played
Filch.
Filch.
There we go.
Yes. So what'd you guys think?
It's pretty enjoyable. I mean, it felt like, you know, we kind of stomped everything, but, you know, except in the kitchen.
I'm thinking
Yep.
in Chapter 2 I might up the enemies a
I
little
think you might
bit.
have to.
I think I'm just going to randomly add more. So,
Just bump up the next difficulty level.
yeah, I'll probably do something like that.
Either or.
Or just make surges automatic.
It was awesome.
'Cause-
I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, we actually had a pretty good sense of teamwork going on there for like the whole game, I think.
Yeah.
Overall, I think we worked very well together.
Constant communication.
Very
The Ms.
cohesive.
Maggie thing was a bit unfortunate, but
But that was
Yeah.
all. Well, I mean, it was
That
just
was nice.
it was just as much when I was doing range attacks.
yeah.
I think I didn't
Yeah.
hit once.
Yeah.
No, I killed the centipede. That's
Yes,
it.
you
That's
did.
all. That's the only hit I got with my bow the whole game.
And
Yeah,
my searches were-
ranged attacks are difficult. But until next time, hands at the ready.